might be able to pull off an upset, but I definitely don't think they're going into this as favorites. I mean, they got a solid lineup. They've been doing well this tournament so far. Obviously, they made it into the upper brackets quite high. Um, they took out, they beat Alliance, funny enough, in the upper brackets, and obviously lived to win. So they've been looking pretty good. But OG's probably their hardest opponent they've faced now. So it's going to be quite something for them to.
Yeah, for sure. I think,
There you
I
go.
mean, in this tournament, they're definitely going to be tested by OG. Last tournament, they struggled against Viking, but OG beat them 2-0 in the last tournament. I think it was the Epic League
Yeah,
Division One,
and that wasn't long
and
ago. Hey, that was
yeah, it was fairly
yeah.
recently in the lower bracket. OG knocked them out, and they were looking strong before that tournament started. I was thinking that they would do quite well. Um,
Yeah, same. Yeah, look, they have jumped into this match, so we'll just jump into it. But it's going to be an interesting. I see Iceberg's playing for them. I didn't actually know he was, but he's one of those players from the CIS region that's super well known for his mid plays. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Obviously, General and Roger, they've been playing for Navi for quite a while. But this is kind of the Flight to Moon mixed with Navi, right?
yeah, it is. But something I want to say about what's it? Iceberg is he has been performing like really well as a 1v1 mid laner. And Limp is usually, I would say, like the mid lane standard for the pro scene. And yesterday he worked him, or it was the day before. He absolutely worked Limp and that was impressive. It's not often that you
Yeah.
see a player like that. He's the type of player that goes into lanes against players like Thompson and Weehaw who have general game impact and not mid lane impact. And he actually stomps them to
Mm.
the point where they don't get to play their game. And yesterday, he struggled against Iceberg.
Yeah, no, look, it's going to be interesting. This is, it's an interesting one. I mean, now he's going to be facing against Thompson. Like, he's going to have a top performance here. But we do see that the draft's obviously been underway. We see Chen out, Mars out, PA out, Undying out. But, I mean, they got IO Tree Hunt. I mean, those are OG picks, right? Through and
Those
through.
are such typical OG picks,
Yeah.
but not lately. I know they run the three as a three position. I'm not sure how that's going to go for them.
Look, I,
Um,
I, I personally think Tree's good. I just, like you said, it's not been very popular with any team really in the last couple months. Um, but OG are super famous for that. I mean, the Seb tree is quite something. But I see Kezu's playing for them, if I'm not mistaken, or is that just a meme?
Kezu playing for OG.
OG, yeah. Oh, he's obviously subbing, I'm assuming. Or
He,
that's
uh,
Saxa just messing around.
he's potentially subbing
Oh,
for
Seb. Wait, I'm confused now.
Sam.
We're gonna have to wait until we get into it, because I mean they've got Joe, which I'm assuming is no tail, right? Because
No tell, yeah, it's
yeah,
no tell.
yeah. But either way, I mean Navi have gone for Lina, Slardar. These are pretty standard picks. I don't think they particularly counter any of the heroes. Maybe Slardar is very good against Tree. Venge kind of good against Io, and obviously Venge being a super meta hero at the moment. And very strong minus armor though. I wonder how OG's gonna deal with that. Alrighty, let's see what they decide to go for here. OG probably gonna stick to more comfort picks as they have with the IO and the Trion. Do you think? What heroes do they pair with IO at the moment?
At the moment,
I mean, you always have your
it's weird.
Sven and your potentially Tiny. I know Tiny's been popular, but I haven't seen any IO Tinies in a while, at least.
No, I don't think that's a combo anymore. But OG have been running this IO like regardless of what they pick. No tell. What I actually want you to look at this game is how he positions his hero in the team fight and how he moves. He sort of like strafes left and right, and he body blocks with IO. He really abuses that turn rate.
Mm.
This might be a core ET with the IO.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was just thinking that. I mean, ILTW is I consider him a crazy carry. Like he's absolutely crazy. He doesn't like traditional carrying. He loves to like mess around and and that kind of fits OG's playstyle and I think fits Elder Titan as well, potentially in the POS one with that new Ags and obviously IO Elder is a particularly good combo. And with Treant Protector actually. Um, so we see OG has prioritized team fight. Funny enough, even if you look at the VP OG match earlier in this competition, they did a similar thing. They prioritized team fight, whereas VP were prioritizing like a similar draft to what Navi have gone for here, with the physical damage, the minus armor, the high DPS. But it got a bit weird, and OG decided to go for a Phantom Lancer. Oof.
that's very unique for this patch. I think it might be even the first time that it's picked in this tournament.
Yeah, very possibly. Do you think, obviously do you think that Elder Titan potentially could mid, or do you think that's just straight up offlane? Because then that forces Treant into 4, right? If it's Elder offlane.
So this is the second time PL's been picked, and its first time was a loss. I'm
Oof.
not sure. I think PL he seems okay against Lena. I think it might be a Lena mid. He seems okay against that. I'm not sure.
It's not bad
Uh,
against Drow, and I suppose Venge. Just because you can obviously dodge quite a bit of what they do, and they don't like you getting on top of them. But I think Slaughter does quite well against Phantom in lane. That's the only, that's the only downside that I see to it right now.
so I'm garbage at Slaughter. I played Slaughter against PL the other day, and it felt like he just had so much armor and poke, and it wasn't that good. Like my bash wasn't
Yeah.
that good against him. But obviously, like I'm not like a Slaughter player. Or
Yeah, yeah.
I just thought like bash OP.
And I think pro players bashes do more damage. I think it was in a couple patches ago, probably.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely does. They definitely make it look more broken than it is.
Yeah. Oh man. Look, Phantom Lancer just inherently should be good though, right? Late game. I don't think Navi can look at that hero and just be like, okay, cool, we should feel comfortable with it because at some point it will scale out of control for them. Um, Drow Ranger once Phantom Lancer has like Manta and like some tankier items will struggle to deal with the PO.
It sucks him at honor. He's been performing on that hero.
Well, I've seen quite a lot of I've seen quite a lot of Mirana coming through in the meta recently. It's quite interesting. I don't know what to think about it actually because I'm not a big fan of it in this meta, but it seems like pretty good.
Yeah,
Because
so
it's so efficient in lane and ganking
it,
and
it's been picked 7 times. The highest pick of a single hero being 12 times, and it's got a 71% win rate. It's got the highest
oof.
win rate in the top 10 picks of this tournament so far.
And you're into it getting look, okay, so we covered the VP OG match and I mean it wasn't prioritized much there either. Um, but I think we saw one match. I think it was the game
I,
3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nigma used Zeus to counter it, and even though it's a plus 4,
Mm,
they were like, they thought it was so impactful there to counter it.
yeah. Look, I actually think Zeus is fine against it, but you can't force Zeus into a bad matchup, right? He's just going to struggle. So I think OG should feel comfortable with this. I do feel weird though, right? Because then that means ET mid, or I mean it's Thompson, so I don't know if I should feel comfortable with it, right?
It's looking very interesting. Leshrac. So
Alrighty.
yeah, maybe Leshrac. That's
I mean that's something we haven't seen for a long time, but I kind of like it against PL, right? It's a straight up hard PL counter. Um,
yeah, I agree.
yeah, but it does, it's a myth that I don't know how I feel about it, right? Because it's also going to match up probably again. So it looks like it's going to match up against Mirana, actually. Okay, so Seb will take it into offlane. So it looks like Kezu is actually being subbed in for Suxer right now. So yeah, I mean that's interesting. That's not something we've seen from OG, or at least I haven't seen OG play this kind of style of Dota. Well, I suppose it's the same style, just it just feels weird, right? Because now, what is Thompson just gonna run around and arrow people? Like, what is his job in this game?
He's gonna build E-Blade,
He's gonna
for
build
sure.
E-Blade. Yeah, first time, Brown Boots E-Blade. I got you, I got you.
I mean, he's done it on almost every hero, you know.
So I just wanted to throw this out there, but so VP lost to OG 2 days ago, right, in this competition, and they
Yeah.
lost two matches to Thompson's E-Blade Snapfire, and then against the Lions they picked it and went Brown Boots E-Blade on Snap. So they obviously respect it a lot because they are now picking it and playing that same build.
Yeah, I mean, this Thompson, like, I think he is a creative player, and he definitely like creates these new ideas.
Yeah, 100%.
But Seb has Quelling Blade. So, yeah, looks like it's a support three.
Yeah, it's so Kezu. If I'm not mistaken, Kezu is supposed to be a pos 3, right? Is it not?
Yeah, I think he used to.
He used to be,
Not,
yeah, yeah. That's right. I'm just gonna
yes,
go
I
into
think he's been
auto.
inactive for a while.
Yeah, I know he's been focusing on streaming for quite a while, less on the pro scene. But anyway, he's a solid player. If you're subbing in Kezu, you're in a good position.
Yeah, and he actually played for OG before. He subbed for OG before. I think it was like around the Birmingham Major time.
All
Roughly
right,
around
all
there.
right.
He subbed.
I mean, that was an awkward phase for OG though.
Yeah, after
But
that the whole team fell apart.
but then that was probably the best for them, right? Because then they came back like 10 times stronger.
Yeah, they won TRs. Yeah.
Basically 2 years in a row from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no tell IO. I'm leaning towards OG here, right? I feel like they've got the team fight, they've got the IO. This hero is still absolutely broken. Um, but it's still a bit weird for me, right? I like everything else about it except for Thompson. I just don't know if I'm not used to Thompson playing like a hero that's I don't know, like a Mirana, right? He's normally aggressive in the front, trying to do things. So I suppose that kind of means maybe E-Blade, right? Because I can't imagine him sitting waiting for an arrow and like looking for like slow kind of plays. Normally it's like Ember Spirit and jumps in first, and the rest of the team's like, oh shit, he's in. Alrighty.
Yeah. I I think OG's draft is a little bit. I don't really know what they're doing, but they are like master strategists.
Yeah.
Their drafts usually have multiple layers of synergy
Yeah.
throughout the game.
Yeah, I'm
But
normally left wondering what's happening. Like until the game starts unfolding.
yeah, exactly same. But Navi's draft look quite simple. They've got minus armor. It's a minus armor draft
Yeah.
into Drow Ranger and Leshrac each. So
Yeah, oof, we've seen Kezu's career getting taken down by Always Wanna Fly. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Tree. I mean, yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. Look, it synergizes with their draft quite well, especially with Elder Titan. If they can get those roots into stomps and echoes, potentially even meteor hammers. I suspect they'll probably go and meteor hammer at some point. It looks like General's just manning up to no tell and ILTW there. But not much coming from that. I mean, this is what you spoke to about earlier. The damage just isn't always there, especially when there's an IO on your team. It's like, do the bashes even hurt?
yeah, I mean the bashes do look like they were doing a bit of damage to IO, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look,
IO
Peel's got a lot of armor, right?
for sure. And IO is also one of those supports that he's always with the carry when he's farming, so he's gonna catch up with XP.
Oof, looks like a bit of action bottom. They're actually going to go into IO, and the bashes certainly look like they did a lot of damage there. But Lena's actually kind of good against laning against IO, right? Because you at least have the sort of range to get to it, right? Whereas Slardar is going to struggle. Unless there's a stun from Roger, he's probably not going to get to no-tail.
Yeah. I mean, this is some interesting trading in the bot lane.
We've seen they are going to go into no-tail here. He's probably going to just jump back, but it looks like General's going to get that first blood. And that's what we spoke about. I mean, we were saying it. He has to get that stun from Lina before he can even make a play there.
Yeah, that stun was crucial. It
Yeah.
no step up at all.
Alrighty, but let's just jump back into the other lanes here. I think Drow should actually do kind of well against his two heroes, but there's an Nature's Grasp and they're actually just hitting them. I mean, that base damage from Kezu is just eating through them. But I mean, you know, Drow, they both got range. They both got a lot of range. Obviously, a lot of minus armor, so they should be able to zone out these heroes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, it looks like mid. Looks like Iceberg's in a lot of trouble. Thompson already using all of his charges there. Oh man, he's just not gonna have enough damage to kill
And
him
he
off there.
cancels that bottle charge.
Yeah,
I
that's
suppose he's
rough.
gonna go back to this.
Yeah, he has to.
Man, you might as well save that energy.
But Mirana's not rushing the bottles, so it's not gonna be.
Oh, they looks like they're going on IO again. The batches are there. The damage is coming through, and then they will get No Tail again. Unfortunately, No Tail, he's just struggling here.
He
yeah.
is.
Oh boy, Dire's middle tower.
But like I said, I think Io is just one of the supports that always get lots of XP. So
Yeah. Look, I think, you know, PL's probably not upset about this, right? Because he's farming and getting solo XP right now. You know, Io is one of those heroes that often steals so much XP from your carries, but it looks like they're going to go into ILCW. The bashes are there, but he's just going to doppelganger out of there. And that's the thing, he's just such a hard kill.
Leads me to believe that Dire just fortified their structure.
yeah, especially like Lena's relying on right clicks a little bit with 1.2 and Fiery Soul.
Alrighty, we do see that looks like Iceberg was actually going behind their tier 2. They're trying to find Thompson, but I think Thompson saw him pick. He must have seen him pick it up, right? He must have seen that invis being picked up. Oof. Alrighty, let's see what happens. Looks like things have stabled out a bit. They're gonna just trade runes here. It looks like we do see. You see, Thompson did go bottle quite early on into this matchup.
Yeah, he actually he didn't like quite rush it. He went to finish the raid bands first. After getting aggressive on Iceberg.
Yeah. Alrighty, it looks like Slaughter's having an absolute blast in this lane. It looks like another stun's going to come out. It looks like, oh, the Io is there to save him. But that's just a lot of damage coming. Oh, in fact, they got the courier as well. I don't think it had any items on, but they're actually looking at diving this. They don't have enough mana for any stuns, but, oof.
I mean, if they can deny clips, it might be good.
Yeah. One of the interesting things is we see that both the offlaners are actually dominating the lanes. Even this Elder Titan is having an absolute blast in this lane. And, you know, Elder Titan in this current patch is actually broken, right? If I'm not mistaken, even the offlane build goes Axe, right?
Yeah, I think Seb does weird stuff, you know, he always buys like team fight items.
Yeah.
He's been loving the Solar Crest recently, actually.
Ooh, I mean, it's good this game, right? So you got Laguna Blade, you got Stun from Venge. I don't believe it stops anything else. I suppose Slaughter's Corrosive Haze.
It gives you evasion, the Solar Crest.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I mean, it's just an efficient item, right? Stats and all that jazz as well. Alrighty, it looks like there's a bit of action top. It looks like Kezu's getting taken down here. The multi-shots there on the damage is coming through. I mean, I must say, though, Navi's laning phase is looking pretty good. I kind of expected that a bit, though.
3-0.
Yeah. I mean, you know, Morana's, well, Thompson is having a pretty solid game, though. He's a level behind, but, you know, in terms of farm, he's pretty much the same. Alrighty, it looks like he's gonna cheekily just run around through the towers. I think he must know that he TP'd though, right? Yeah.
He's wasting his time though. He's not getting maximum efficiency out of that TP.
Yeah, well, he's gonna go for the big creep there. I think that's not too bad. We see bottom lane. It looks a bit cheeky. Oh man, that pull. Unfortunately, they pulled one creep and it stopped the pull from their side. Alrighty, we're seeing some more action here. It looks like they going on top. Seb, yeah, Seb's too tanky right now. He's got the Ring of Regen, he's got a bracelet, and it looks like he's queued up Meteor Hammer, which I think is pretty good. Good stats. Obviously, it combos particularly well with their lineup as well. I suspect. Do you think Tree will also go Meteor Hammer? I don't know if stacking them is potentially good or bad.
I'm not sure. I think 3 is going to be less greedy this game.
Yeah.
He's going to let OG do their OG thing.
Yeah.
Salamene smiles upon me.
Alrighty, but they need to be careful. It looks like they're going to go under the set. The stun comes out. Is there enough damage though before he can get to the stomp? The heals are there, but it looks like he's taking too much damage. And oh man, Drow just with a proc from his marksmanship. And in fact, they're going to spot Kazu as well. Look at that damage he's taking in. The multi-shot comes through. They don't have enough for a stun, but the damage is absolutely huge coming from these two heroes. I mean, look at these. I mean, he can just dodge, right? That's just so unfair, right?
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do in that lane?
Yeah,
Besides hide.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it looks like PL ILCW, he's actually just going into the jungle, and Roger's having none of that. In fact,
Looks like Iceberg is going to be positioning mid with 3 devils and diabolic edict.
yeah. I mean, we don't see anyone really go maxing out the lightning storm anymore. That used to be the old build, at least for mid laners.
Dire's bottom tower's under
Yeah,
attack.
at OG with 3, they usually like to protect that mid, like tier 1, as long as possible.
Yeah,
And
we're seeing a lot of heroes mid here.
yeah, with Lesh, I think it's going to be a bit difficult to do that.
Yeah, I don't think they have the wave clear as well right now. I mean, you know, the best wave clear they got is probably Mirana Starform, but it looks like, oh, Roger's actually diving them. They're going to get the stun off, and it looks like Kazu will fall, but now they're in a tough position. Iceberg potentially going to go down there. They leap up. Oh, man, he's going to go down. Roger as well. The stomp is just going to connect, and in fact, Roger will fall. I mean, they got Tree, question mark. I don't
Yeah, and enough time for 3 to come back and heal the tower.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. You know, like, I think Roger maybe just forced the issue a bit too much there. You know, look, they also, oh, Seb's going to fall in the top lane, but, you know, I think they, you know, OG respecting that they needed to defend that, and they were probably expecting a dive. Because, you know, they had both supports chilling there. You know, Io was there with PL as well. So, you know, like, any sort of regression was going to go potentially bad there. Alrighty, Iceberg just doing a bunch of dodges. It seems like Peel, where is Peel actually? Okay, he's playing in top. Io's just chilling here with Seb as well.
And that mid tower is gone. This is not ideal for OG.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know, the Invis Leshrac is pretty rough as well. You know, you can pop his spells, pick up, use the bottled Invis, and just absolutely run a hero down. Oh, Kazu.
Getting up first item E-Blade.
Oh, do you see this? Kazu expected the Lesh to come bottom. He actually placed that sentry and spotted him coming down here.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it was a pretty good call, but I mean, that's probably a tower. Unfortunately, this Lesh is going to be a problem, right?
Yeah, is Lesh maybe a 3 counter?
Oh, I don't know. The relocate's there. The stun. Oh, Kazu in a lot of trouble though. He should be able to get out of here potentially. Look at the damage coming through. The stuns are there, but he will go down. And in fact, General's going to have to do the exit here as they. Oh, they need a sentry of their own though, because Morano did pop that invis. I mean, they get Lesh again. That's Lesh dying essentially for each tower, but you know, that's going to close the map out for them. And you know, PL does need to find his farm and come back here. So you're saying earlier that you think this isn't looking too good for OG. Do you think that you know, obviously they're not reaching their power spikes, but do you think they just keep going the way they're going? You know, I mean, they're getting some of the kills here.
Yeah, I think OG have a good grasp of the macro game, so it might not be looking as good for OG right now, but you know, when they get their timings, they usually do something quite cool.
Yeah. I mean, you see ILTW is going for that Diff Blade. I think that's a pretty solid one for them. I mean, you know, Lesh is going to hate that, Lena's going to hate that, Benj is going to hate that. You know, and he probably can fight when he gets that.
I wonder what they're gonna build.
Yeah, I think he might even fight before that, just because of the pace of the game looking like really fast.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's going to come down after time.
Yeah, and I suspect, you know, when relocates up, I mean, they can immediately look for plays. Alrighty, it looks like we're going to see a bit of a smoke up here from General and Roger. I'm not sure who they want to find here. It looks like they're going to spot... Oh, there's a blink on General. In fact, the stun's coming out Laguna Blade. Oh, man. Seb in so much trouble here as he gets bashed down. I mean, we saw this against VP. You know, Seb seems to have a tough lane, but they generally seem to come out all right. You know, he generally finds his farm. But he definitely sacrifices a lot on his heroes for the rest of his team.
Yeah, he's pushing out the lane, you know, that I feel like it's furthest out is the least safe farm, but
yeah. I mean, they had to commit a smoke to that. It was a blink reveal as well, so you know they had to get something out of that, and you know that's probably their least worrying core. You know, you don't want to lose a PL to that. You don't want to lose your Mirana. I mean, we do see Mirana has gone for the...
They're going to go on middle. They're going to go on middle. So IO relocated PL out, and they know this.
Oh, he gets Yules though, but I don't think it's enough damage. Oh, but the stun does come through, and Io actually will almost get out of there, but it looks like Kezu's in a lot of trouble. And in fact, it looks like Thompson as well, but he will finish off one. In fact, they do pick up two of them, but oh man, the stun's coming through from General, and look at that physical damage. They're absolutely blowing through them. And unfortunately, that relocate just set them up in a really awkward position there.
Yeah, but it was an insane read by Navi. Like, I don't see any wards there. Maybe this ward has vision. No, it doesn't.
Do they not get the notification, right?
But does it tell you where they relocate from?
No. But I suppose they could have predicted last known information, right? Last known. But that's still pretty crazy read, though, right? Because you don't know he's in those trees. You know he's probably in that area. You don't check trees first. But where did he TP the PL out to?
He TP'd in bot lane, looked like to cut away or maybe push it.
Oh, crazy, okay.
Maybe it was a bait by OG, they thought they would do better in the fight. Thompson did a surprising amount of damage in that fight.
Yeah,
I think he was gonna get him.
I mean, he's going his E-Blade. I mean, do you think this is a viable thing? Just E-Blade on almost any core with reasonable magical damage? I mean, I know it's good against Drow and Venge and Slardar and that's, but it seems like he's just like E-Blade's too strong, right? In general, like it doesn't matter what you're on.
Yeah, I think E-Blade's a good item because in order to counter it defensively, you need something like a Mantis style or BKB or something.
Oh,
and in order to
yeah, sorry, there's a Diff Blade onto the PL. He's going on always want to fly. It looks like Drow's going to be the one that's in trouble. There's a Hurricane Pike, and the Gust does come out. The stun comes out on all of them, but they are going to lose Venge. But they're trying to go into the IO. They do finish up IO, but it looks like it's going to cost them one. But they're going to get the Elder Titan. Oh, can they finish up the PL? It looks like he is going to get used up. But they need to find the real one here, as he is doing a couple jukes here. But I think they got him there. They're going to throw out the stun, and that's a double kill. Lesh looking so strong, and in fact Thompson in a lot of trouble, will pop the Embers, but it looks like he will get dusted up, unfortunately, and yeah, that he will fall there.
Bad fight for OG.
Yeah, look, they seem to be committing to the fights, right? You know, I thought they would, you know, become, I suppose maybe they were like, you know, we've got Diff Blade, you know, we have our ultis up. I mean, you saw them kill the Venge like reasonably early on, but you know, once the Slaughter blinked in, things went a bit awry for them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they committed, but
Yeah.
they definitely, you know, they understand some of the bigger picture here, and they going to abuse it.
For sure, for sure. I mean, you know, one of the big things I think for Navi in that fight was they did prioritize No-Tail there. I mean, they took him out quite quickly there, and you know, if they don't bring him down, he's gonna keep their cause alive, right? You know, he's got insane damage reduction. Is it? No, wait, no, they've changed it. It's back to max HP regen. Alright. But I mean, that's still crazy, right? That's 0.8% HP regen, right?
Yeah, on PL's already 6, I think.
Yeah. Oof, man. But funny enough, I learned something the other day about PL and IO specifically, is that you know, it's like when you play IO, it's like almost impossible to link up the right PL, but if you just link and click the portrait, it'll always link to them, which is like pretty amazing.
Or maybe you link the wrong one and you bait the enemy.
Oh yeah, that's 100% true. I mean, you can doppelganger, link the one that takes the same amount of damage, and you Gucci, right? Alrighty, looks like Thompson in a bit of trouble here. Oh, General does blink, he gets a Sunny Thompson. Ooh, they could have gone for that potentially. We saw that the Lena was following up there. Who actually has Yule's Scepter? It's Iceberg. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean Thompson, his E-Blade is coming out very very slow. He's not really, he's not getting returns out of the fights. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier about the E-Blade is to counter it offensively, you need a purge, and the only item that purges currently is a nullifier, and which is quite expensive. And to counter it defensively, you need Manta or BKB.
Yeah.
So
100%.
I think that's what makes it so valuable. The counters are more expensive than actual
the
items.
actual item, yeah. No, that's 100% true. It looks like Navi are going to actually just go for Roshan here. I mean, they got so much damage and minus armor here. I mean, they spotted out, but they just give Drow the Aegis. And this is actually something I've been thinking about for a while. Do you give your core the Aegis, right? I feel like mid should be getting them potentially. You know, like
Maybe they just worried that their Drow is a bit squishy.
Yeah, I suppose. It just feels like quite efficient, right, on like a Leshrac. You know,
I agree. I think it's
Yeah.
massive on Lishrak, but I also think it gives Drow like the opportunity to farm at like some more aggressive spots.
Yeah, I suppose more aggressively and actually participate in the fight, right, as opposed to just farming. Because you don't as a core, and if you join a fight and die, it's so much worse, right, than as a mid. Because a mid can come back and still do stuff, right? Whereas Drow will just have to respawn, go back and farm, to try and offset that. Looks like, Kezu in a wrong place there, trying to get the bounty. General picks that one up, and his bashes are starting to hurt now. He's actually going for the Ags, which I haven't seen a lot of yet. But I mean, it's certainly good. It can offset a lot of the damage, help them in those team fights, and obviously Slardar's move speed in that pool is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think they also want the tank. They want
Oh, the relocate comes through.
But unfortunately, I think he's gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't kill him, yeah, I mean, that would
Maybe
be
he can do the
insane.
TP play. No.
Yeah.
Drops the smoke. So OG are gonna smoke immediately after this play. Looks like he gives Kezu the smoke. Okay, maybe no.
Oh, I didn't
Kezu's
notice this,
sleeping.
but they actually got E-Blade already onto Mirana, onto Thompson, so they could actually look for a fight. I mean, Nota will be up in 20 seconds. But it's looking a little tough right now. I think with the Aegis up, it seems hard to fight. So it looks like they are going to try going to Thompson. The bashes are there, but can they control him? No, the leaps will be there. Oof. I mean, this is true to a CIS Dota, right? Super aggressive plays, control the map, be aggressive, force the enemy to make plays, or make awkward plays rather.
Yeah, and I think it's an efficient movement. They know that they're ahead. They leaner, pause for as a ether lens. I think they just wanna force their advantage now, and they don't want to let Tiddy get a chance to actually do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you can see they're trying to be a bit cheeky here, cut waves. It looks like Kezu is going for a bit of a cheeky play here. In fact, it looks like PO and Nota are there. But it looks like Mirana is gonna go for a cheeky play there. Oh, General unfortunately misses a stun. Oh, Kezu comes in with the stun. It looks like they're gonna get Mirana here. Slardar there. And in fact, they're going for more here. Lena also in trouble. Oh, the E-Blade is starting to do work now. As they you saw how they forced them bottom, and then they just immediately took a fight there. I think Navi would maybe just caught unawares there with that aggressive play.
Yeah, and that's actually something that OG have been doing. Where they like to force enemies around one part of the map and they could fight on the other.
Yeah.
And IO makes it so much better because as the other team, you never know if that IO is actually going to come back.
Yeah, and another thing to that as well, the same with Tree, right? Because Tree likes to play in side lanes, right? Tree's either going to force you back to another lane, or he's going to come and fight you in a lane, right? So if you come defend a lane, they can potentially easily jump. He's got Blink Dagger, which is probably why he's gone that. They don't have the best initiation unless they get like a good stomp or something. Alrighty, it looks like Navi are still in the lead here though, but not by much. If we look at the gold chart, they're about 4k, closer to 5k. But it's certainly not a lot, especially for 23 minutes into this game.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a fight bottom. No-Tail's keeping out. Looks like everyone's getting out there. OG are dodging this one.
Yeah, they read that so well. I'm not sure if... I don't think they smoked for that though, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they smoked for that. But
I mean, they don't have wards for that. Oh, they got one ward that would have spotted them over here. Yeah.
yeah, I think OG maybe know that they have a ward there and they forced them bot. But also, it does seem like a natural progression for Navi to come bot and take that tower.
100%, I think you're right. But I mean, immediately you see that they're split pushing. I mean, Mirana, Thompson, he's mid, PL, IO, they top. I mean, they can easily get back into the fight. And PL even has Manta, right? And I think I mentioned this in the draft, but you know, when he gets Manta, this game kind of changes a bit. You know, you can no longer necessarily gust him, he can dodge stuns. You know, it means Doppelganger is significantly better. You know, because of the cooldowns, you know, you can use Manta to dodge something, then you can Doppelganger, and then like, you know, your other spells are coming off cooldown. So it's significantly harder to kill him right now, and you know, he's only going to get harder at this point. You know, he's working towards that Basher, super good against most of the heroes in Navi right now. So I think Navi are probably feeling the pressure to end this game.
Yeah, I think definitely this PL is becoming a threat.
Yeah, 100%. We do see Mirana Thompson. He has queued up that BKB. This seems to be a pretty common build for him. But I think specifically here, obviously Leshrac is a problem. In fact, we're going to see initiation here. They're going to try going Thompson. There is a Blink Dagger. He commits all of his leaps there. I think
they're going
knows.
on bot, so they drew them top with Thompson, and they're going to get the Venge. They were going on Venge and Drow. Unfortunately, it looks like they're only going to get the Venge here. Not worth. Oh, maybe they can get Drow here. Drow is going to get a kill here.
I mean, yeah, I think they backed out. They didn't know how many heroes were TPing back from the side of from Navi there. But I mean, it kind of feels alright though, right? Because PL now has Basher, he's going to get Abyssal, he's going Skadi, right? You know, those are things that are more scary than the Mirana, right? Oh, it looks like oh man, it looks like they're going on to Drow. The silence is there, the stomp's there. Can they turn this? They are killing out the illusions, but it looks like Drow's going to potentially go. The swap is there, but they end up bringing down the PL. Oof, man, and in fact they're going to potentially go more here. As we see Seb is just going to TP out of here. Oh man.
Doesn't make it very close.
Oof. I'm honestly shocked that
dude, that's exposed.
Yeah, that's a bit rough, you know, because and I think OG is well expected to do a bit better there. You know, having the Basher on PL, you know, they caught them off guard a bit there, but Drow just stood the ground, right?
Yeah, I mean, Drow she has, you know, 49 armor, almost 50 armor, and PL, you know, when she's out of mana, you're not really dealing damage to her.
Yeah, 100%. And looks like they're going to get that tier 3 and just be able to get out of there.
And a buyback out of Civ.
Yeah, that's a bit rough. Oof, yeah, I is looking a little poor right now.
It doesn't look like they're really going to have enough, you know, actual burst damage to take out this Drow. Drow is going for a butterfly.
Butterfly, yeah.
Yeah, so people have been like looking at this E-Blade now that Thompson's doing it and thinking, you know, why not get butterflies? And they've been thinking that butterfly, you know, it's a bad item. And I think it's not a good item, I agree. But what makes it good is when you can get it so early that it gives you full value of those stats before the enemy can actually do anything about it.
Yeah, and we spoke a bit about this, you know, other items, and that, you know, if you get it early, what's the alternative for the enemy, right? They've got to go MKB or something to deal with that. But, you know, it feels a bit weird for OG to do that right now, right? You know, PL doesn't really want to do it, or at least not anytime soon, that's for sure. And I don't think Mirana will go it, especially with the E-Blade build. At least not now. I mean, maybe he'll transition later.
It's a brilliant item choice by VTune. And like this guy, he's a beast. His lifestealer was like innovative as well
Well, I mean,
in the
I
last
haven't actually
tournament.
seen much of him play. What did he do on the life stealer?
He went second item Skadi in a game. He's been going
Okay.
for his builds vary so much, and they usually seem to fit the game quite well.
Yeah. I mean, oh, we're seeing a bit of initiation top. It looks like they're trying to find LTW, but he's just gonna be super annoying with this PO. In fact, they're gonna relocate there just in case they need to get him out of there. The IO is going to connect onto him. They do spot him. Can they get the use? They get the stun onto the IO. It looks like IO is gonna be the one that goes down. And I think that's not bad. You know, losing the PO would have been rough there. And No-Tail's not really worth much right now.
Yeah, they commit relocate though, and Madonna opts for it. And I mean, Thompson is closing in on this BKB, but what is BKB keeps you alive, but does it allow you to actually do anything to any heroes?
I mean, look at the amount of chase they got here. They force out all the stunts. The Yules is there. The Stomp comes down, but in fact, it looks like they're actually going into the sideline here, trying to go into the PO, but there is a route. The swap comes out. The damage is not quite there. They do bring down Iron. Looks like ILTW is also going to go down.
Massive damage.
Oh man, yeah, this
Having
physical.
the base now, this minus almost stat is huge.
Yeah. Look, I feel it's so typical for CIS teams as well. I mean, VP is a big fan of this kind of draft, but you know, this is kind of I'm seeing like flashbacks from the last VP match, right? You know, this kind of felt like game 1 of that match as well. You know, where OG kind of just reflected on it and then dealt with it. So I think Navi have got to be careful of this game too, for sure. If they manage to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're in control of this game right now. And
Yeah.
recently, something OG struggled with is actually like coming back from these games where their cores are not looking like they deal enough damage.
Yeah.
And OG, they've since the birth of OG, they've always struggled with like dealing enough damage in these games. Yeah, and yeah, I mean I think that's an idea that a lot of like high school players have, where all heroes in the game deal damage, you know. But sometimes maybe that idea is just pushed a little bit too far.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a big fan of Mirana. I just think they were forced into putting a mid, or maybe they wanted to do it initially, but it feels weird, right? Because Thompson's normally the one that's pushing the envelope, right? Making the plays in the game, forcing the enemy to deal with him. But it hasn't really felt like it this game. Like, you know, to his counterpart to Iceberg on this Leshrac, right? Leshrac was killable, but right now it's got BKB, Yules, and Bloodstone with 20 charges. You know, that's a hard kill right now.
Yeah, he's 300 gold away from his BKB, but Navi are near his jungle. And I think Thompson doesn't really have a way to farm.
Yeah, unfortunately
They're going on
not.
the top. Oh, and it doesn't look like they've got a way to catch this guy with BKB either.
Oh, he's got cheese. Should be able to get out of here. And they need to be careful. There's a lot of damage coming out from him. And in fact, he might even just turn this. Yeah, he's just running at them. He wants to go at it. But I mean, look at that bashes coming through. The Yules is there. Can they bring him down? Oh, he does get the tree. But his teammates are coming in thick and fast. It looks like Thompson's going to get stunned up. Oh, and that damage was huge. They just saved the
that's
PL.
5 OG heroes going, and they just didn't have enough damage. This Madonna doesn't really have any damage, and now she's even further from her BKB.
Yeah.
Let's hope she doesn't actually buy back yet. You know, from 300 gold. I think this game is done. And OG outplayed themselves in a big way, but Navi, beautiful execution of their draft as well. Right?
100%.
I mean, it's not a hard execute, it's not a hard draft to execute. It's really, it's a minus on it.
100%. I mean, they do bring down Lena there, but it looks like Lesh is coming in for the kill. Can they bring down this PL? They will. The damage from this Drow is just absolutely getting out of control right now. But it looks like they're going to find the Lesh, but they lose Io and potentially Mirana as well. I'm not sure if I don't think he did actually buy back there. So that's a dieback on him, unfortunately. And in
Yeah, and
fact,
he's exactly where it started in terms of his BKB.
yeah, and unfortunately it didn't save them that Rax. I mean, Drow's literally running at these tier 4s. In fact, they're trying to go back onto him. They spot the real one, but they don't bring him down just yet. In fact, they're going to pop the ulti there. Oh, ILTW is so lucky to come out there with his life. And in fact, he doesn't. That's a dieback on him as well. I think you're right, Shabe. It is GG. Yeah, and there it is. It's called. And I don't know. OG, as you said, maybe pushed the envelope a little bit too far there.
Yeah, but I mean that's not to say that like Navi didn't do well. I think Navi they made efficient moves on the map. You know, as soon as they had that advantage, they were like, let's push that tower. Let's take a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're right. Look, I think they're going to change things up. They might go a little bit different draft. I think maybe Morano's. I think Morano was just weird, right? I kind of like the PL, even though it was struggling. But I kind of feel like it, if it got to a point, Navi were just not going to deal with it, right? He wasn't able to get to where he was. No one was quite making space for him as well. He was generally just permanently getting saved, right? Which is not ideal, right? Because then his farming pattern goes completely out the window.
Yeah, I think they lost map control. They just didn't have the damage early game. I think, or it was a combination of not having the damage and the reliable lockdown to fight into them, and general having like a good lane. He took like full advantage of it, getting that blink early. He was quite tanky, and so he forces OG to sort of fight him. I've seen in a lot of fights he was forcing them to fight him and just tanking all that damage. So even if General dies, he it doesn't end badly for
Yeah.
Navi.
I must say, General had an absolute blast of a game. I think that came through for them like big time in this game. I mean, not only did he have a good lane, but he like transitioned it particularly well. He was forcing kills, he was forcing issues. He was right in front of them. They had to deal with him, and he's not an ideal hero to try deal with. Because he's gonna slithering crush you and just attack you, right? He doesn't need to do a hell of a lot more than that.
Yeah, he had the bash, he had the crush, he had the net, the clumsy net, and the
Yeah.
Yules. So if you don't deal with him, he's gonna probably take all five of your heroes out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and they've got such good backliners, right? As well, Drow Ranger, Lina, Lesh. Well, okay, Lesh slightly weird one because he kind of runs in there as well.
Yeah, I mean
But
this Lesh ran in and survived.
yeah, this Lesh, I mean, we saw it there where they were actually fighting just Lesh and Venge, right? They took down the Venge immediately, and then just couldn't kill Lesh. I mean, Lesh was just running around. Actually, output. I mean, the damage output. I want to actually see what his damage output was in that game. Let's have a look.
22,000.
22,000.
20.
I
On the
mean,
top it was 18, which is quite decent.
yeah. Look, I think he was efficiently e-blading people. I think he was using it a lot, and it is quite an efficient item to just keep using, right? It's not super mana intensive compared
Yeah.
to its damage output, right?
Yeah, let's talk about like the stars of the last game. Like I think they are going 15-0, and obviously
Okay, yeah,
General making so much space.
yeah,
Iceberg did well in his lane, like we said
yeah,
before. Yeah, and
yeah.
and the
Look,
Roger
uh,
setting up General's game was insane.
I think so it was VTune, right? That was on Drow Ranger.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he had just a solid game, and I think back to your point during the match, his itemization was brilliant. You know, Obviously it was pretty standard. I would say it's a standard build on Drow, but he went for that early butterfly, and they couldn't really deal with it, right? Because the one way they deal with him, right, is PL just runs at him, and he all of a sudden loses his passive from his ulti, and he can't really fight. But you can't do that when he has butterfly, right? Because you're not going to be able to kill him. And he's just going to attack you, and his teammates are going to back you up. And I think, if they want to in the next game potentially look at, because I don't think Navi are going to change the way they're drafted, right? Looking at what happened in game one. So I think
yeah.
OG are going to have to think about how they change their own draft, right? Because that's where the potential issue is, because they can't draft something that's going to lose to like a Slaughter, right? I think PL maybe has to go out of the draft. IO I still think's relevant. I think IO is relevant. You saw how many have the game could have been completely different if they didn't have an IO, right? ILTW would have died a lot more, and I suppose the same for some of the other heroes as well.
And got less form in lane. Yeah, I think so. I think Navi had very good damage manipulation with Venge and Slardar, and even Drow's ulti like negates armor. And OG
Yeah,
that ulti Titan and an E-Blade. But I think ET going for a meteor hammer first item, it allows him to farm, but then your Mirana goes first item E-Blade, which means she can't farm. It's not like she has an ads that keeps,
yeah,
bursting the waves. Like Mirana's Q doesn't actually burst the waves. It means that you usually, if you do it on an entire wave, you like miss a creep sometimes too.
yeah.
And I don't think that's just because I'm new. I think it's the numbers are weird.
The numbers are
Uh,
off slightly. Yeah, that's why you have to go Ags if you want to be clearing waves, right?
yeah,
Because,
or
cause,
like Maelstrom.
yeah. And even if you go Ags or Maelstrom, it's like it still feels kind of inefficient, right? Because your mid Mirana kind of has to make plays, and that's kind of the idea about the E-Blade, right? Is he's gonna get an early E-Blade and then just look at like Drow and absolutely blow up, because the other thing was she has so much armor. You have to find magic damage, right? Where do you find magic damage from? Unfortunately, they lacked damage, right? They had some
She,
physical,
yeah.
but you know, I mean,
She
Elder
doesn't really have
Titans.
armor against
Yeah,
ET. That was OG's attempt at damage manipulation. I guess IO as well, but I don't think it was enough. And I think ET should have went for maybe like a Crimson Guard or something.
yeah, but that
Uh,
also feels a bit awkward, right? Because you're kind of like a pop crimson, and that's all you have, really. Um,
yeah, I mean,
it's a bit
what do
weird.
you pop Meteor him in the fight and it drop? Should have
Yeah.
burst you before the
Yeah. Look, I
before he
like
was.
the fact that they did have one meteor hammer. It mean that obviously ET's going to shove more waves, and you can kind of combo it with tree, but they were never given the chance, right? Because he got meteor hammer and was like, all right, I gotta farm a bit with this thing, right? Because I bought it. But Navi were running at them, so there was no like breathing room for him to like snowball off of it, right? And that's why people are buying it at the moment, like on these heroes that don't farm, because if you take like Pos 4 Silencer, right, you go Meteor Hammer and you go straight Ags, because the Meteor Hammer accelerates your farm like extremely well for a Silencer, Um, but unfortunately, his transition was Meteor Hammer into Vlad's, which Vlad's is good, right? Especially with their lineup, it helps them get a bit more damage, a bit more survivability. But it didn't feel like enough. And I think you're right. Potentially Crimson would have been better, but again, would it? It felt like Navi got way too out of control. So all items kind of seem a bit bad, but um, it's a tough one. It really is. I think OG put themselves in a weird position with the draft.
Yeah, I think Navi definitely. Like, I mean, this draft looks premeditated, like
Yeah,
completely premeditated.
yeah,
Drow bench, and they've got like Lesh, Lena. I don't know. That is weird because they both like stunts that need to set up.
yeah. Look, I think the
And
Lesh was probably just a reactionary pick. That kind of worked as well, with
yeah,
their kind of lineup.
but then also the Slardar, he's
Mm,
ulti. I mean and it's also a Rosh lineup. Like you
yeah,
can't like really fight it down the Rosh. And I think OG are like the kings, of the Rosh. But for the last like 3 years, like I don't, when Secret was looking beastly, and they go and they're gonna take a Rosh fight against OG, I would constantly think, is this the moment we see Secret bleed? They're going against
yeah,
OG at the Rosh pit. And fairly recently, I think it happened in a game against Secret where Secret were looking great, and then they took a fight at the Rosh against OG, and it didn't work. And OG loved those drafts, those Rosh pit
mm,
drafts, like just anti-Rosh.
yeah.
There's like one team fighter and just heroes that burst Rosh.
Like like
Uh,
like Phoenix, we've seen them pick that up quite a lot. It looked super good for them when they did. But this game, I suppose Tree filled that role, Elder Titan filled that role, but it felt like they just weren't at a point where they could contest it against someone like Slardar, right? Who was just going to absolutely destroy it. I can't remember what time they took that first rush, but I mean it was so quick. Navi, it must have been like 20 minutes roughly, but I mean they didn't even hesitate, right? They were like they've got a couple heroes all over the map, take Roche immediately, and Bob's your uncle. OG could never defend it, right?
yeah, They got rushed at 19 minutes.
Oof.
And I think they might have even been able, like with a draft like this, to take it earlier. But
Yeah.
maybe they respected OG with.
Yeah, look, I can't remember the exact situation, but they were probably like their map awareness was probably like, let's do this, force them there, take this. We saw TP here. I mean, I can't even imagine what was going through in their comms, but it must have been something pretty efficient, right? Because the way they executed it was like insane. They were so quick. They knew exactly when they needed to do it, and I think OG couldn't. Because normally they could react to it very quickly, right? With IO, obviously they've got good Roche fighting heroes, but it almost felt like there was just no way they could ever do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I also think maybe I don't want to make excuses for OG because I'm an OG fanboy,
Let's see some
but
excuses, dude.
I mean, Kezu, I think Sux has been like the rock of this team for like a while now. Mid one he farms really well. Thompson does crazy shit, but he's very on off. Like Thompson will have a game where he absolutely carries the team. Like undeniably the greatest player in the server. But then he has these games where it's like, he's this guy, the same play in my 2K game last week.
Yeah.
And,
Oh man.
especially like he gets puck mid, and but I always panic when they pick puck mid because he doesn't seem to like actually perform on that hero, and like he has these heroes that he plays, but they just don't really go well. And yeah, so I think with Kezu, maybe they just underperformed because they didn't have their rock, their
Oof.
their solid foundation.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said to that, but I also think they need to give Thompson something a bit more comfortable, right? We saw it in the other match 2 days ago where they picked him a Luna mid. I still have some reservations about that. Obviously, it could work. I understand the concepts around the hero going mid, but to get away with it against top tier teams is difficult. Even as a player like Thompson, right? Obviously, I suspect that they potentially do go a bit more out there drafts in game one. So I suspect game two, which guys should be starting soon. I did see that the lobby had started, so we're about 2 minutes out. But I'm expecting something different, right? I expect a bit more stable draft. Potentially not the Elder Titan, right? Because did Elder Titan look? Elder Titan with Tree was very awkward, right? That was very weird. I think they need to either leave the Elder or leave the Tree. I don't think Tree might have been more of an issue than it was worth, right? Um, Especially if
Yeah,
it's not on Seb, right? I'm happy to admit that if it's on Seb, I mean that's cool.
but so Navi, maybe they did their homework because what OG usually do with the tree is they like really defend those tier one towers, and they
Mm,
they they sort of like make the other team play less efficiently because they force them to make like 5-man commits for tower, and sometimes they don't even get it. Whilst your carry farms, and that's like OG's 4 protect 1, they drag enemies around the map by defending the towers with three.
mm.
But with Lesh, there was none of that. Lesh pops edict and what's the
And it also felt like every time they tried to defend it, they overcommitted to the fights, right? You know,
but
because
that's their pattern. They always like seemingly overcommit, and then they all die, but they defend the tower.
yeah, and obviously they understand the game a bit more than I do, but I feel like you know in some games it's not going to work, right? Especially like you just said. I mean, Leshrak. Leshrak's one of the heroes that's happy with that. You TPN, he's got a great way of setting up a stun. He's going to burst your tower down probably even with you if you're not like 100% efficient with your defense, right? Because if you come in slowly, he's going to take the tower. If you come in too quickly, he's just going to back out, because he's going to see like multiple TPs. Or if, like you have to efficiently deal with his push, or it's just going to end very badly. Um, and I think that's all we saw. And I think funny enough, I don't think Navi would have picked Lesh if they didn't pick PO, right? Because there would have been better mids, just naturally, right? Lesh is just specifically good against PO, and particularly, well, I think it was pretty good against Morana. I don't know how it should go, but it looked very good. Iceberg did a pretty good job there.
Yeah, I think Iceberg is a beast of a laner.
Oh, dude, there's one match I can't forget though that he played. He was still playing for Flight to Moon, playing with Flight to Moon, and they picked OD mid, and he farmed up. He did well. He got BKB, and then he popped BKB twice by accident. His
Yeah,
10-second
yeah.
and 9-second BKB, and I was like, oh my word, dude, that's like stuff I see in my pubs. And you know, he's a very good player. He's extremely good. Like I respect that guy for his mid plays. But you know, that was a. I don't know if I can forgive him for that one. And I was supporting Flight to Moon back in the day. Like they were looking so good. But that like made me feel super sad. I was a sad panda. Alrighty. The game should be up any moment. I don't know if you can see it, Shape.
I can't.
Alrighty, let's just double check. Alrighty, I don't see it either. But what other stable picks do you think OG can go for? Do you know what they've been playing recently? Do you think we'll see a Phoenix coming out? Do you think we'll see Snapfire? I think those were banned though. I can't quite recall from that game one, but I
I'll
think
tell you now.
yeah.
So Thompson's Morphling was banned, and recently Thompson he's been performing on that Morphling. He he has an 80% win rate with 10 games on Morphling in the pro scene.
Ooh,
So in his last 10 games as Morphling is done damage. So they always first ban that against OG. And Omni Knight got banned. They banned the Snapfire as well. But what was the other area you said?
I think I said Phoenix.
Phoenix. Phoenix. OG banned Phoenix. 13th ban. Yeah.
I mean that kind of makes sense. I don't think their lineup was ever going to deal with the Phoenix.
So Thompson's like current hero pool that's like good is Troll, Warlord, Morphling, and let me just
Snapfire, I'm assuming.
yeah, and Snapfire.
But Troll
Um,
Warlord, that's a weird one. Because you
yeah.
know that's so this is weird, right? I've seen him pick so many hard carries in mid, that like kind of goes against what I thought the meta was kind of leaning towards, you know, because you see like Leshrac coming out, you see like Death Prophet coming out from a lot of teams. I know Alliance picked Death Prophet and it worked absolutely amazingly.
So weirdly enough, OG what they've been doing is occasionally they do a dual core setup, right? So they have a core in mid and a core in the safe lane. But then what Thompson does with his mid core is he goes and he farms their side of the map. And sometimes this results in him dying. But it's really weird watching from the mini map all these enemy units swarm on the mid laner and basically give all the other lanes a free lane. And what do they do after they kill him? They can't farm that jungle because Thompson's already farmed it.
100%.
And there isn't really a lane to be pushed because Thompson was farming the jungle. The lane pushed out on its own. So he's like quite strategic, and he plays in a way where he rather ruins the enemy's game than actually have a fun game himself.
Yeah, look, the match is up. I don't know if you've seen it, but we're into game number 2. This is OG versus Navi. It's obviously the upper bracket in the Dota pit tournament. But yeah, I mean, obviously Navi took game 1, but OG, you know, they tend to lose game 1. I don't know, just a trend, right? And then they generally bring it back 2-0, or 2-1 rather.
Whew, Radiant team banned.
Alrighty, we're seeing that they've actually gone for a Magnus Phoenix, so I think going back to Phoenix,
Dire team ban.
I think it's very strong. We've seen, obviously, they've been picking it up quite a lot. I suspect it'll be POS 4. I think Magnus potentially being POS 3, maybe POS 2. I don't think I've seen much Thompson Magnus, though.
Magnus, no, me
So,
neither.
I
But
don't
also, I think it's the signature of Sip. Oh, and No-Tail actually. No-Tail loves POS 5 mag, and he does weird stuff, and he makes it look not bad.
Yeah. Look, I think Magnus is actually a very good POS 5 in this meta. You know, especially when you're pairing it up with something like a Phoenix.
You really gotta pick a hero.
Because
You have 10
technically,
seconds left.
he doesn't really need a lot, right? You know, they're gonna be able to just pick up some sort of a core that's just gonna be able to get them whatever farm they need. you know, obviously PA's been banned out, Void's out. I don't suspect they probably won't go Sven. They could potentially go Sven. I mean, it's a bit overkill maybe. You know what? You know what? I actually think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna pick up Ember.
10 seconds left to pick a hero.
You know, Ember, ILTW Ember. I mean, that could be pretty pog. Obviously, Empower could be pretty cheeky with that. And it's a signature hero for Thompson and for ILTW, so gives them a bit of flexibility there. Oh wait, it's actually banned out. I did not see that. In fact, they banned out the troll as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh my
Troll
word.
Warlord. I was gonna say like I think Troll Warlord and you think Ember, but it doesn't look like Oji's gonna get either. And that's also another one of those flex picks, right? ILTW
Yeah.
plays it,
Yeah.
I mean Troll Warlord, but Thompson plays it mid as well.
Yeah, but there is a snap buyer. I'm just throwing this out there. You know, I suppose anything that goes E-Blade, right? So, I mean, we could see Nyx mid. Let's go, dude. Thompson
Please,
Nyx
no.
mid. Dude, I think that's actually a pretty strong hero in this game so far, right? Good burst damage for PA, great against Lina, and super oppressive, right? You know, I think the map looks super scary with the Nyx running around.
Go dire team. Pick 'em
I
up, pick 'em
just
up.
think it's a bit tricky to go blind into a Knicks game, like, without seeing their mid. But it looks like they're going to take out Batrider. I think that's alright. Batrider has been super popular in the last, or in this specific patch.
You better pick your hero. 5 seconds.
Alrighty, let's see what they do decide to go for here. They don't have too much time, they're burning into the reserve time. I don't know. Look, they got Magnus Phoenix, good team fight, probably POS 4 and POS 3, so they're probably looking at a POS 5 here, potentially for Notel. Or unless they go Magnus POS 5, in which case they're probably looking for a Seb hero. Alrighty, let's see what they decide to do. They only got 25 seconds left. They're going to have to find something that deals with PA. I suppose they got two big stuns that go through BKBs.
Boy, Morty, look who came back. I guess their little disconnection was just a minor inconvenience. Come on, Radiant team, you gotta pick 'em right.
Alrighty, and they're going to go with the Clockwork. Pretty good. Good control, works well with Phoenix. But I'm not sure where that lay. Is that a POS 3 Clockwork?
10 seconds to pick your hero.
That's
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah,
I mean,
5 seconds left
it
now.
lanes quite well against PA. So kind of alright with that. I don't like it against Lina though, necessarily. I think it catches Lina well, but you know, it causes your heroes to potentially be bottlenecked.
Go dire team, pick 'em up.
Alrighty, we're gonna see a Doom. I think Doom's good against Phoenix and Mag, but nothing to synergize with Doom right now. They've only got technically one stun with Lina. It's a bit of a skill shot as well.
You really gotta pick a hero. You got 10 seconds left. 5 seconds, Morty. It'll be fine.
Navi going Doom.
Radiant
I don't know,
team,
Doom isn't really that, I don't think is that good against Magnus.
Oh, we're seeing a Thompson Monkey King. I suspect it's safe lane, but I'm really hoping for a Thompson Monkey. It's been too long, man. It's been too long.
You really gotta pick a hero. You got 10 seconds left. You better pick your hero. 5 seconds.
Alright, let's see what Navi decides to respond to this Monkey King with. I mean, it should be bottom, right? It should be safe lane, rather. Just because of the Doom pick. I don't suspect they'll put Doom mid, right?
Oh, but Iceberg actually is a player that does does Doom mid.
Okay. So I mean, that's a pretty solid flex pick then, right? Because, you know, now they have to... At some point, they're going to have to commit the Monkey King to a lane. And I suppose technically... wow, okay, they go for the Oracle. I don't know how I feel about Oracle, though. Because, you know, technically they got 3 strength heroes right now on the side of OG.
Entire team ban. Radiant
Looks
team
like Navi's
ban.
just going to take out that Slark. I think that would have been... They could... that would have been interesting, right? So, Timber... Ooh. I think Monkey King is good against Doom and Timber, right? So that makes it a bit awkward.
5 seconds.
I see the potential for that Timbersaw.
Yeah.
But I don't know how good Timber is against Clock. I kind of like playing Clock against Timber.
Yeah. I think if you send Oracle with Timber, it should be good, right?
Yeah, so Timbersaw Oracle, I think, is actually very good because, you know, he amplifies your heal and stuff. And in the early game, they're going to be, you know, there are only like a few opportunities to gank that Timbersaw, who is quite obnoxious in how he pushes out the lane.
Oh, entire team ban.
So,
Yeah. And technically...
Oracle manages to save him.
Yeah. Oracle's damage gets buffed by his Whirling Death.
Come on,
And I
Radiant
think
team,
the
you gotta pick 'em
disarm,
right.
funny enough, would be very strong in lane if they went for that build as well. Looks like they're gonna take out Pango.
10
I
seconds.
don't, that just feels like a weird ban. So they expect mid Doom, right? They expect Iceberg Doom, right? They ban out Pango, they ban out Mars. So then I suspect we're gonna see a Thompson Monkey potentially.
Thompson mid monkey.
You know,
What was
if they think it's a Doom mid, right? They must be thinking
Team pick.
if it goes mid, oh, okay, Beastmaster.
But my question for you is, how good is E-Blade on Monkey King?
Okay, they go TB, cool. Alright, so it is a mid
I see.
monkey. I think it's
No,
alright,
I
dude.
think it's a mid TVR.
It could, dude, seeing what Thompson plays recently, it could have been. But I think they can't pass up on the opportunity, right? Because I think it should dominate the Doom mid. Somewhat. I think Doom still will get farm, right? Because of just how naturally good his Q is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Thompson Monkey, that's poggers, right? I mean, E-Blade, do you think it's even slightly viable in Monkey King?
Plus 400 talent on time of play.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
true, that's true. Oh man, that's crazy then, if he does something like that. That's maybe pushing it a bit too far though.
Yeah, Monkey's been in an interesting place lately. Thompson hasn't really been picking it that much. I think this is his first game in the last 2 tournaments on Monkey King. And I've seen it get picked. It's awkward. They're building like Ags first now, you know, like kind of like Gyro.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a bit as well. It's
But I
super
don't
good
think he's
because you
actually-
farm so well, right? You just leave monkeys in the camps, right?
Yeah, but I don't think it's as good as like a Gyro Ags.
Yeah, that's true.
And both heroes kind of, you know, tend to buy it as their first item. But Thompson is creative, so, you know, I believe
Yeah,
that,
I mean,
you know, that
I mean, he's
first
probably going E-Blade, right? If we just looked at the trends. I mean, it's gonna happen.
that's how my
Oh man, Ags E-Blade, let's go. No, but Ags is kind of bad if you E-Blade. To be honest, I mean, I find it kind of weird that to consider E-Blade even.
Huh. Oxygen-rich
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
testicle monsters. We'll be
It's good to
fine
see
with Friday.
Thompson on Monkey King though. As you said, he hasn't been picking it at all recently.
no, he hasn't. I can even tell you.
Do you think Monkey King is a good hero in this patch though? Because I think in general we haven't seen too much of it.
I think Monkey King, he's not a good hero in this patch because there's so much gold on the map. The supports tend to get farmed. Even in these pro games where supports are more sacrificial, they do tend to get like items that allow them to escape, and he does thrive off of supports in the early game, but even in team fights, he gets his Jingu stacks off on a support, even though that's not his primary target.
Yeah,
30
100%.
seconds until this place goes ham.
It certainly is an interesting one. I'm interested to see how it pans out. I think if it pops off, it will absolutely destroy, right? I don't think heroes like Oracle and Lina are gonna have a fun time if Thompson's just dominating the game.
Definitely not Lina.
Yeah.
I think Oracle can disarm him.
Oh man, Roger just denied the ball that they spent so long trying to get. Oh man. But yeah, I think you're right. Look, Lena's gonna hate life, right? If even if stuff like Clockwork's having a good game, because if Clockwork's having a good game, Lena's always gonna get initiated on it. She's got actually particularly bad animations, so Battery Assault will just be particularly good there.
Yeah, Thompson hasn't played a single game of Monkey in his last 2 tournaments.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's only played 1 game on Invoker as well, which is a loss.
That's crazy though, right? I mean, those are his probably most signature heroes.
Yeah. And Pugna. He's only played Pugna once.
Right. I actually think Pugna is actually quite good this patch. But obviously it's not quite fitting their playstyle. Obviously they've been a bit more greedy in their mids generally.
But I don't get why Thompson wouldn't want Pugna. He comes with a built-in.
Yeah, a good E-Blade. You just decrep E-Blade. Well, I suppose you're right. You just don't go E-Blade, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, go E-Blade anyways.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty good on him with E-Blade, right? You can kind of E-Blade ulti afterwards. You can decrep blast or something like that. Oh, no tails, being a bit cheeky there. Okay, Roger's just gonna be able to walk that one out, but that's super scary for Roger. He's gonna have to keep watching out, because if he gets caught in a cogs with Battery Assault, he is certainly probably dead. What do you think of this TB though? I mean, TB is a bit of an interesting hero as well in this patch,
I think maybe there's a pattern here. PL and TB, OG practicing the illusions for the next track, because it's pretty garbage in this one. So Plate gets a buff, and then OG's ready for the pattern.
Yeah.
OG's so ahead of the curve. They're playing the next patch already.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe they release like the patches slightly earlier for the pros to test out. I know in some other esports games they do that.
Yeah, no, that doesn't seem like a Valve thing to do. It takes too much effort.
Yeah, and also they love to keep things mysterious. Like,
yeah, some people call it, like not communicating with your community, but
oh man, I just call it causing chaos, right? You want the patches to be absolutely chaotic.
So Doom looks to be jungling already, but he's obviously got his Q, so his net worth shouldn't be much lower than Thompson's. In fact, it's only about 150 gold away. Yeah.
And that's kind of scary in a way though, right? Because Monkey King is gonna have a free game here. He can potentially be a bit greedy as well. Look what I mean. Iceberg walks to lane, right, and just gets hit.
Yeah, he does. But I mean, Iceberg really, he wants half this wave, and he can jungle already. So, and I mean, look at Thompson's actually taking damage here.
We see IoT drawn first blood with that meta there, just taking down Beastmaster. And that's one of the things is they don't have ways of dealing with a meta TB right now in this lane at all. It looks like Oracle in a bit of trouble there, but should be fine. In fact, we see Magnus rotating top. Seb is actually rotating, which is quite... Oh, he's just securing the rune, it looks like. Unfortunately, it is top lane. But that's a DD Monkey. And, I mean, I suspect Seb is just going to wait here and kill the Doom, potentially. Is this pos 4 Doom? I mean, sorry, Magnus.
Oh, it looks like I mean, how I tell is the Quilling Blade. Phoenix also has stats already. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so I think we were right in saying that Kezu is a pos 3 player, right? And I think
yeah.
OG probably was just like, you know what, let's just put you on pos 3.
Yeah, this man can't fall.
Yeah, well, the man needs farm. Like, oh man, and then speaking of Kezu, he gets dropped there. Unfortunately, I mean, it's Oracle, right? Oracle's always gonna probably win the lane. Alrighty,
Yeah,
it
it
looks
looks
like
like Topson might get a little bit dangerous here because it's not looking great. But Notel's getting gone on top lane.
yeah, no, he tried to be cheeky there and pull the wave, but unfortunately couldn't do it.
And they've scouted. Sam scouts this ward. Oh, but denied by Oracle. Oh, Sam,
Okay.
too slow on the clicks there.
Yeah, that's a bit cheeky. I mean, this
Always
is...
on
Oh, we're seeing
high.
a bit of a dive here on TB. TB probably going to go down, pops the ward, but is there enough damage? It looks like there's not. He popped almost a full one there, it looks like, and yeah, there's the TPs. They're going to cancel it, in fact. I don't think I've ever seen Seb on pos 4, but it's certainly interesting.
I think I've like seen him on all the roles. When OG was struggling, he man played everything.
Oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense. I think he's probably the most overall player on their lineup. That's a no-tell, right?
Yeah. So maybe we can see Doom threaten Monkey now with his ultimate.
Oh, it looks like Oracle's the one that's going to get threatened here, getting absolutely destroyed. Yeah, he's going to fall there to no-tell. Sorry, Shape, what were you saying?
Thompson is got doomed in middle just recently.
Ooh, man, okay. Iceberg is chasing him down. Magnus is there, doesn't have mana, should be able to body block him. And yeah, that should be
Oh,
enough to get
but
him
does
out.
Thompson survive this? I don't know what's the
Oh,
Ooh,
there was one
six-
tick, one tick. Oh, Roger, you're in a very awkward position. Does start the stun, misses both of them. Can he get the courier?
Beautiful sidestep by
He
Thompson.
does get the courier though. But that's, yeah, that's a bit rough. But I mean, that's pretty good for Iceberg though, right? You know, Thompson's gonna have, now that he's 6, Thompson has to be careful, right? +1 and he's dead, right?
Yeah, but now you see Iceberg actually committed the Doom now and they actually didn't convert it into a kill.
Did force a bunch of rotations, but I think that's still kind of rough, you know?
Yeah. So something I seen earlier with IL2W when he was laning was he used the illusion to aggro the creep, and I was like, wow, this is how you don't get dumpstered in lane as TV. Even though he didn't do well, I can tell if I was TV in this lane, I'd be 0-5 already.
Yeah.
So.
I would have already abbed, but you're right. Like the next level plays, right? But what exactly did he do? I don't think I caught that.
So he put the illusion in aggro distance, and then he aggroed with the illusion. He pulled the enemy's creeps towards his main hero with the illusion.
Oh wow, okay. Just so that he wouldn't get harassed if he walked up to lane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mad. I mean, he's forced into jungle now, but I mean, he should be fine. I don't think they can pressure him too much in lane, or at least in jungle rather. And I suspect Phoenix can keep them from taking this tower for a good while. I mean, Phoenix does have egg here, so they're gonna have to be super careful. In fact, Clockwork is gonna cut the wave potentially.
Radiant just fortified their structures. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh man, they're gonna dive for this. They pop the roar. They're going into Phoenix. Is Phoenix gonna get the ulti off? It doesn't look like it. The stacked stuns were on point there, and in fact, they're gonna turn their attention to Notel. But Notel should just be able to get out of here potentially.
Yeah, this Beastmaster is looking strong against these supports. I think it's quite a greedy pair of supports.
Oh man, looks like Notel's gonna fall here as well, and oof, I think those greedy supports are maybe just causing them a bit of trouble here. I mean, yeah, Magnus Clock is not, it's not particularly strong, at least in the early game. I think as the game progresses, it gets significantly better.
Yeah, I mean, does Clock synergize with these heroes?
I mean, I think it's good catch. right? Because they don't have
Yeah.
too much catch, right? Like obviously Mag can get a blink, but you know, at what point will he get that? I suppose they're prioritizing him
He's actually
mid.
rushing it. Yeah. He's rushing the blink plus 4 and he's farming mid lane.
I mean, that is a game changer though, right? Because you know, if they
Oh,
get
yeah.
RP and Phoenix Egg, you know, with Monkey, it's you know, that's going to be pretty solid for them.
Yeah, and Thompson's just fighting 2 hitters down bottom,
Yeah.
like aggressively as well.
I mean, he's going on to always want to fly on this Oracle. Oracle in a lot of trouble here, but does have to be careful. The rotations are actually coming through. He didn't get the Suns of...
Thompson cancels the hit.
Oh, but he gets the Jingo. He gets the kill. But they, I mean, he's going to turn this. He's just fighting. They're actually going to fight through this. In fact, there's the stun. There's the Monkey ult. And they're just going to have to run here as Beastmaster comes in
He's
as well.
healing from the Oracle.
Oh,
God.
man, that's rough. And in fact, he cheek. Oh no, he didn't dodge the Stifling Dagger. I mean, that's the power of Monkey King, right? I mean,
Apparently, that's space created. He's
Yeah.
literally fighting 3 of his bot lane.
what do you think of
Well,
this
I don't
Echo
think
Saber
that'd be
build on him? I mean, it's not his normal build, right?
I think it has been. They went for the Ags thing. He didn't really jump on the Ags bandwagon, but
Alright.
but only because he wasn't playing it in the patch. I think this is the standard build.
Yeah.
To say that.
I mean, he's gonna have to output the physical damage, right? Because TV's not gonna do that for a good while. And you know, it's kind of like sporadic. It's like when he has meta, you know. So the consistent damage is gonna be pretty key from Thompson,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
as opposed to like
Even
farming, right?
Junior, I think you're definitely gonna catch him. Double kill for OG. I mean,
Oh, man.
Navi.
Yeah, Navi just finding that. They bring down Clock as well. Unfortunately, that's a challenge, right? Because Doom, I mean, that's a kill that you just because of a rune, right? You know, it's not something that OG were particularly gonna be like, oh, okay, he's got Shadow Blade, let's deal with that. You know, Thompson was playing as if he didn't. There was no invis on the map.
Yeah, I think that just shows you like the dynamic ability of Navi. Like it's they aren't coming into these games in one track minded. You know, this is what we're doing. They play the map. You know, they use Dota's map to benefit them.
Clock just tickled Bristle. Sorry, not Bristle. Beastmaster with that hook. But I think you're right. I think it's pretty well done from Navi. Look, I think OG are doing like if I had to compare the two games, I think this is better, right? You know, you kind of do still have a greedy lineup, but I think in the previous game they were like 5-1, you know, as opposed to 6-4 at this kind of point in the game, you know, and.
But I mean, Doom has now eclipsed the monkey, and that's not ideal. And this is often happens to Thompson, and I think it's part of his playstyle, where he's ahead, and then he uses his advantage to create space and like not be a like hard farming mid laner. But as a result, he doesn't have Echo Saber. He doesn't have those monkey timings.
Oh man, looks like a fight's going on. They lose the clock. The Oracle's potentially going to go down though. But I mean that's fine. In fact, it looks like Roger's actually going to go down here. Oh man, actually gets RP'd for that, and that's not bad. I mean, they defend their mid tower. They get 2 kills for that. They lose clock, but that's a that's a very poor clockwork right now.
I think they used all their spells though for that.
Oh, and in fact, it looks like okay, he's just going to roar to get out of there. And in fact, probably just lose all these creeps here.
Thompson's dead.
Do you think?
He's not.
Oh, I don't know, but I think they might get gone on here. They do have Doom in 5 seconds, and it looks like they're going to potentially chase this. Clockwork does block them out, but they're still getting chased on here. And in fact, Doom is up now. Are they going to commit it? No. Yeah. I mean, Messes is still up, so.
For a better opportunity.
Yeah.
Not for much longer. It's done now.
Yeah. One of the challenges is they probably can't defend this tower though right now.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned in game 1, right? The OG don't like losing that mid tower. That's like a key pivotal thing for them. I think in general in the patch it's probably true to say.
Yeah. I think OG do place more emphasis on the macro game though. Like, even if they're behind, like I said with Navi getting that invis rune and making a play with it, OG, they don't really play a dynamic kind of Dota. They play a quite a static game. So when they see that they're losing mid tower, but they 5k gold behind, they still defend mid tower.
Yeah.
Um, even if it means they're going to TP in one by one, they still do it and they chain feed. But they just have like, I don't know, these habits, these macro game habits.
And I think that, obviously it's for a very specific reason, mostly map control. But now that that has fallen, they should actually just probably prioritize just shoving out waves. Because TB has been farming, he's still a bit behind. But he will get there. He's highest on the net worth. Last hits. Let's have a look at net worth. I mean, he's up there. He's close to Doom, almost at PA. PA, funny enough, has actually gotten Battle Fury. I haven't actually clicked on PA for quite a while, but VTune, he's still 1-0. They haven't killed him yet in two games so far. So I suspect maybe just smoke up, use a hook shot, get him. And in fact, it looks like they might set up on General rather. Looks like he's going to start backing. The dive is there. Can they chase him? Oh, the RP is committed. They're going to go on him. And it looks like Monkey King is there. And I think General will just be going back into the respawn pool. And it is indeed the case. I mean,
so Thompson's going Silver's Edge for PA.
Yeah. I mean, there's some other passes.
Is that reliable?
Hey?
Do you think that's a reliable PA counter? Because I don't see them killing PA right now. They don't really have magic damage.
I think it is until PA gets BKB, right? Thompson's not exactly going to get it right now. I think PA might. Oh, we're going to see a fight. Looks like the hook shot's onto Oracle. Brilliant target to start a fight off onto. But they need to bring him down. It looks like he's dodging most of that damage. In fact, Doom's chasing. And oh man, look at that damage coming through. Yeah, they just lack damage there. Because it was a good initiation. I think that's the right hero to go on. They did a good job to actually get that initial initiation. But I think Oracle, once he blocked the magic damage, he was actually kind of fine because there was no TB or Monkey. Or at least they didn't want to overcommit there. Oh man, Lena in a lot of trouble. Thompson's just gonna kill her. I'm not sure, did she kill Deny the Tower? No, it was Beastmaster that denied the tower. But yeah, back to that Silver's Edge. I think it is good because technically you can break a passive on Doom, Lena, and Beastmaster and PA. I just don't know, right? Like, does it change the game, the state of the game? Because you still have to deal with like the Doom, you got to deal with the Beastmaster roar, like you kind of, because if he gets roared, right, I don't know how they save him. I mean,
yeah, this also, yeah, I think there's also been an issue with OG lately. Is like they rely on Thompson a lot to do massive things.
Yeah.
But I mean, his positioning is great. I trust he won't get doomed easily.
Yeah. I mean, technically they have no way of like insta-dooming him, right? Iceberg's gone for a bit more of a beefy run at you build with the drums and the BKB. So, obviously Thompson's not going to just probably get caught out by a Doom running at him. But, that is a bit of a challenge if he does end up getting doomed. Which, in fact, they are looking for him. I'm not sure if they're going to find him here. They don't have a Hawk as well. No, I think he tried to jump onto some trees and they were no longer there.
Yeah, Thompson creating space in a massive way, like throwing four Navi heroes across the
In
map.
fact, I think they're going to look at going a mid here potentially, because they like to do that, right? They draw them bottom and go on mid, or another.
But Navi are quick to respond. They're already in the mid lane.
Yeah.
They are onto OG's tactics.
Yeah.
But now it looks like Thompson's back to the farm game, bot lane.
Yeah. Look, I think he kind of has to, right? He's almost got that Silver's Edge. He probably needs a couple other items. And Navi, 18 minutes in, they're going for Roche, almost like clockwork, and not the hero, just like the efficiency. I mean,
yeah, this is their timing. Yeah.
Yeah, they do
like
it out.
This is different draft, same game.
Yeah. From both teams, in fact, I think, I think TB is slightly better than PL though, right?
I don't know. I actually know.
I think TV's was slightly more meta and I think slightly more viable to fight with, right? You know, we saw the PL get farm but couldn't really fight into them. You know, whereas I think at least TB can just meta and you know it's you know Navi have to respect that. Whereas PL's kind of the same power level at all points, right?
Yeah, OG throwing hook out here, looking like they want to fight into.
Oh, three man
Aegis.
stun there though. Looks like Roger is going to fall there. In fact, they got him in the cogs, both of them. In fact, they're going to have to cut their losses here. Navi, as it looks like Always Wanna Fly is going to die here. Oof. I mean, that's a good play considering that they threw out the hook shot so early there. I mean, did you see that three-man stun from Thompson there? I mean,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
crazy.
beautiful. And besides his actual mechanics in that team fight, the reason why they were able to take that fight was they drew PA and +1 bot lane. I'm not sure who it was, but basically there were two heroes bot, and it was a 3v5 in the middle.
Yeah, we do see V-Tune is just going to pick up Clockwork there. Unfortunately, Clockwork's having an absolute rough game. And in fact, they bring down Seb as well there. I think they must have committed Raw. They did indeed. I mean, yeah, Neko Book 3's, you know, level 2 Raw. That's going to be rough. I mean, you know, OG are making plays on the map, but it feels like Navi are dealing with it somewhat. They do kind of like suffer to it, but I think any team would, right? You know, I suppose that's why they abuse that.
Phoenix did, and this like sort of gives Navi momentum. So they kill a hero, which means OG can't fight 5 versus 5, and they keep forcing OG into these situations where they kind of look like maybe they want to fight, but they can never actually get a 5v5. And that's why how like pickoffs win team fights.
Yeah, 100%. It's a bit of a weird one, right? Because this is kind of like how game 1 went in that they couldn't deal with the Drow, or they can't deal with the PA right now. And in fact, PA's gonna jump right in on Seb.
Double kill for PA, looks like.
Ooh, man, the crits are coming through thick and fast for him. He's in a dodgy position, but he's got Aegis. And, I mean, you know, OG, it's a bit weird right now. Yeah.
Thompson probably going to return to the bot lane. No, it doesn't look like he has TP. I will say though, so like last game, PL, he had like an okay lane, but not.
Oh man, we're going to see a Raw onto TB. They're just going to back out though, because TB's actually still a bit of a beast. And in fact, they're going on to Monkey King. In fact, they blow him up with the Cooler Blade. Good Phoenix ulti there, but unfortunately not enough to keep Navi in this fight. And in fact, they're still going to potentially look at turning this. The drums has popped. They're running at them. They don't have Doom, but they could potentially... Oh man, Seb goes for the RP, brings back Doom into the base. He pops BKB, but I think Iceberg is in a lot of trouble. Yeah, they had to commit a lot there. Oof. I mean, they brought down Lena, but unfortunately it's still a bit of a challenge as they are looking... I mean, they find Oracle there. Unfortunately, he's not going to survive that. But I think they still want to fight this. In fact, it looks like PA is just diving right in there.
TV versus the world.
I mean, LTW needs to be careful though, because there's a cheeky little PA running and nibbling at his feet there.
As, Satanic.
I mean...
that's Doom down.
I mean, yeah, that's rough. I mean, TV just wouldn't die there. I mean, that was a PA with a Deso and like BKB Battle Fury and like level 19, and he was barely hitting the TV. I mean, that's insane, right?
I think that teams generally do like to take the TV into PA. I think I've seen it at like the TI maybe.
I mean, you know, he's got Satanic, so he's always gonna be able to fight through a Doom, right? Unless they like get like a cheeky Doom meta.
One by one, they fall.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the SNY Satanic against this Doom.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's crazy. He's going MKB next, obviously, to deal with that PA some more. You know, this is a big deal for them, right? You know, like, Navi have to be thinking, like, what do we do now, right? Because not only is TB super farmed, right, he's going to shove out your waves like perpetually. And I don't think they want to take this late. Like, Beastmaster's not going to scale well. I think Oracle and Lina are going to fall off. And Doom as well, right? Doom, you know, as farmed as he is, he's not going to be able to keep up with the TV. And to an extent, Monkey should outscale him at some point.
Yeah, Thompson is like drawing heroes around the map. He forced 2 heroes top. They're like running around in circles here. And it's still going for the wave. Wow.
I mean, they're going to try and find him, but look how super annoying he is. He's even got the Shadow Blade just run. Is he going to go for the courier kill though? No, okay.
No, he's not.
That would be too cheeky, right? Yeah, that would be rough. Oh, man.
But it looks like he might connect bot.
Oh, they're going to find 1. They're going to find 2. It looks like they're going to try counter Phoenix. Phoenix is going to get stunned up, but should be able to egg. Oh, no, the jump comes through. But look, the raid boss is there. TB is there. I mean, TB could just take them on, right? I mean...
He's got his MKB now, so... and they didn't see it. It just came on the courier.
Well, in fact... Okay, I think... yeah, they need to get out of there. Look at that damage. Oh, Monkey King with a brilliant ulti, but this Yule's coming through perfectly timed, but Oracle instantly blown up. And things starting to look a little sketchy, but Doom is actually behind them. I think they just need to wait out this meta as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, hopefully Doom can get a good wrap on them. I don't think they expect him.
Yeah, I think he...
Oh, it looks like he did run under vision.
Yeah, I think the rest of his team was completely out, unfortunately. But it was a nice idea, though, right? Because if they wait out the TB a little bit, at least then they can Doom the Monkey or something, and all of a sudden take that fight.
Nothing will stand in my way.
I mean,
so, Thompson is going for BKB now. I don't know if it actually does anything in this game.
I mean,
hopefully he gets it this game.
Yeah, unfortunately game 1 is rough for him in terms of getting BKB. But yeah, you're right. They got Laguna Blade, they got Beastmaster ulti, they got Doom. You know, for a lot of physical damage. I suppose it helps you a lot against Oracle. But I don't think Oracle's that concerned. You know, except for like the debuff. Oh, it looks like we're going to see a fight. RP committed onto Beastmaster. Beastmaster absolutely gets blown up. And in fact, the PA jumped in. But look, PA's just going to get caught out here with the egg. And in fact, tries to get out. But it looks like they're going to...
destroy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to cost him quite a bit. In fact, they jump in and Doom onto the TB. Doom actually doesn't have meta. He's got Satanic, but ILTW is going to probably just be able to walk this one off. Yeah, look at that cooldown on that timer. I mean, he was barely doomed, right?
Yeah, no, he was.
Oh, they're
now
still
looking for more, yeah?
I mean, if they can use him up, yeah, that could... Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, there's just so many illusions. I mean, you know, the fight is happening and they're still just running around. Oh, man.
Both teams looking for Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, that rush is... It's about 1:15 away, but it looks like Pierre's going to jump in. Oh, he finds Clockwork and brings down No Tail. But, I mean, you know, again, No Tail sitting at the bottom of the network there, unfortunately. Doing, I suppose, what he has to do.
As per usual.
Yeah, as per usual.
Yeah, I mean, he is a sacrificial +5.
I mean, but did you see how PogChamp those cogs were? I mean, that's like, you know, worth more than net worth is, right? You know, like... You know, he blocked in the PA. The PA was forced to, like, BKB. And, I mean, I know he got a kill there, but, you know, he had to get out. Still got stunned and forced another kill. And it looks like Iceberg's going to be the one that's in trouble. Pops BKB. There's a use onto TV. I think TV has meta. He does indeed. In fact, Lena's going to go down for sure here. And, man, I'm not sure what they do here on the side of Navi. Things are looking super rough for them.
Oh, this TV illusion is...
Oh man! Oh, that's rough. So I think maybe switching 7 to pos 4 was the play for them this series.
Are we claiming Kezu now?
Well, I think Kezu's a better pos 3, right? I think I'm giving him compliments on his pos 3. Sorry. And sort of complimenting Seb on this play, but it looks like, the hook shot's there. They're gonna try and actually go on him.
Well, but yeah.
I mean, that's brutal.
Noto was very underwhelming clockwork game.
Yeah, I mean that was a quick RP, right? Like that would have taken me like my brain a couple seconds to, because I mean Pierre was on him like a flash, and then he insta RP. You didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but yeah.
I mean it might not have been 100% worth it, as you see they are going to potentially take Roche. They're trying to go in for it, but oh man. I mean,
Oh, the TV illusions just melting Beastmaster.
oh man, this TV is absolutely out of control. Almost as Scotty Thompson's just running in there, and unfortunately, Always Wanna Fly is absolutely dead there. And I don't want to say it, but I think this is over. Shape. I don't. I mean, I don't see how Navi deal with this,
I mean,
right?
Navi they still have a 4K lead, and
And a tower advantage, map,
tower advantage.
probably map presence, but I mean, it's all falling apart very quickly.
Yeah, I think OG are now in a position where they can make some plays and win the game. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't count Navi out just yet.
I think it's a lot of pressure on PA, right? I think that's their win con right now is, an absolutely beast of a PA play. He's got to bring down.
Yeah.
He's got to bring down like, or they got to get a good initiation onto like TB or onto Monkey King. But I mean, killing TB is like almost impossible, even if you get initiation, right? Because he's not going to get stunned. He's absolutely not going to get stunned.
Patch is out apparently, according to Kizu.
And Noso, yeah. I mean, that's rough.
So next game is on the patch. Is on the new patch.
Well, apparently Navi's saying some of them on the on the new patch. How weird would that be? you like all of a sudden playing and imagine they like change your whole skill, right? Like you come back in and all of a sudden your hero's got a new skill.
Okay. What? Reddit is behind. Reddit is behind. Checking Reddit here.
Oh man, Seb in a lot of trouble here. He's gonna get initiated on. Oh, he actually gets stunned up there. Is he gonna actually fall? He will fall to the damage from I think it was Infernal Blade there. In fact, they picked up Monkey King. I didn't even see that. He must. I mean, I don't want to say this, but Thompson doesn't even have BKB yet. And that's not a flame. I just think he struggles to get BKB. I don't know what it is.
This man does not know when to say, look here, we maybe need to chill out. Because I mean, his TV is pretty much he's not getting much better. TV is gonna buy more items, but he's not gonna get better as a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, and at some point you have to be like, look, Mag, can you just please empower me? And TV, can you fuck off with your illusions?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. One of the challenges is, I mean, even if he starts to do that, right? I think there's still a lot of scalability on the side of Navi. So I think that's one thing they got going for them, right? Doom's still got to find another big item. I think, they still can get their Abyssal on PA. I think, funny enough, Beastmaster needs a better item. I don't know how I feel about a Silver's Edge on his side. I mean, what's the plan with that? I mean, they can break the heroes, right? But I kind of feel like they don't really need to, right? All it is Monkey, I think. Alright, let's see what they can do with this. It looks like Navi are just going to decide to force a couple towers. They're going to have to get back very quickly, though. I think their bottom exposed Rax is going to fall very soon. Yeah, the TP's come through. In fact, LTW is actually just pushing the tower. I mean, look how much damage he's doing to that tower. I mean, that's insane. Oh, and in fact, they actually brought down Thompson. I don't know how he died there.
I think he has BKB in his clear though.
Oh, yeah. Beastmaster General, he's gonna go down. He's trying to. Oh, it looks like he was trying to roll, but I think he's just dead. TV's in there now. He does end up getting the roar off, but I think, yeah, he's just down. Oof.
So they trade Thompson and General. I guess there were 2 past 3s.
Yeah.
And I mean, Seb has he's more net worth than Phoenix right now.
Yeah. The thing is though,
But
the Seb has been farming a lot. Like he hasn't been as active as I thought he would be. You know. Whereas Phoenix hasn't been. Phoenix has been in most of the engagements, even the smaller skirmishes. Oh man, it looks like they're gonna lose Notel again. I'm thoroughly impressed by VTune as a player. I think he's had 2 exceptional games, and I think he could potentially carry this game for them. They just need to find a way to deal with this TV.
yeah, I think Vitun is an excellent carry in this patch. I think he's been like really stand
You mean
out.
the previous patch, right?
Do you think they're trolling though? Maybe because I just googled it now and 7.28 is not on Dota 2.
Okay,
Like
yeah,
it can't load the page. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think it's probably coming out now. I just don't think they'll do it. I mean, would they? Oof, I don't know. It's so hard to manage between these time zones.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh man, they're actually just taking this Rax. I mean, Navi are just not even responding to this. I think they just get this Rax. Wow.
Under attack. Man, I'm pissed.
I mean, that's brutal, right?
They're gone, and I'm pissed.
I don't think they're in a
Yeah.
position, like I think the map now just falls apart for them, right? Because,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
I still think that they've got 2 tier 2s up. The next Roshan can be a good place to fight with him,
Yeah.
and it only takes like 1 fight because it's not like Thompson is going to be doing much anymore in this game.
Hmm.
He
He
has
needs a
2
lot
items.
more, right? Like
Yeah.
I see he's queued up the AC, but I think even with an AC, he still needs more than that. I mean, obviously AC helps TB. I think that makes TB absolutely unkillable. I mean, what could
Yeah,
TB
but
do?
he still gets first of all.
Yeah. Oh man, they lose
Yeah.
Thompson again. I mean, with the Abyssal as well coming out, I think it makes Thompson. Oh man, they're gonna doom up the Phoenix. He's potentially gonna go down. BKB's being popped. I think
No,
they're just.
no bother.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean. Oof.
And Meta has been popped. See, this is the fight. I think Navi are gonna turn it on this fight. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they just brought down 3 and this is potentially. I mean, look at they took out 3 heroes and they still can't fight the TV, and they know that. They know that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they can wait out this meta, TV is not defending his base without
Yeah.
meta.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's getting kited right now. I mean, his meta's about to end, and PA will fight him if he doesn't have it, like he said. I think so. They could potentially force something. I mean, they can't really get Roche, right? Roche is still at least 2 minutes away, probably. Alrighty, let's see what they do. They're probably going to start checking Roshan very soon. But yeah, that's a challenge. I mean, I see PA's actually got Aghanim Scepter queued up. Do you think that's potentially a good change up for this game? I'm not 100% sure what it can dispel though.
So I think maybe the main use of it is that PA bursts every hero
Yeah.
on OG besides TV.
Yeah.
I mean, OG's Phoenix. Phoenix is he gets dumpstered in the fight. Monkey King gets burst. Magnus gets burst.
Clock
Okay,
as
well
well.
he has a Ghost Scepter now, but yeah, Clock gets burst. He has no answer. So Magnus and TB are the only heroes that have sort of an answer, and it means that he can basically just rip through OG's whole team,
Yeah.
whilst the rest of his team controls TB.
Yeah. 100%. And at some point they're probably going to be. Oh, we're seeing a rapier being picked up. Oh man, RTW's had enough. I feel like he has enough damage anyway though, right? Like the amount of damage, especially when he's empowered. I mean, he should be able to one-shot heroes. Oh man, they find
Looks
actually.
like Thompson's gonna die.
Oh, but a good RP coming through. The save is there, the Doom's there, the Egg is there as well. Oh my word, they absolutely destroyed the PA. And I got a feeling General's absolutely dead as well. I mean, they don't even have to hit him anymore. I mean, okay, so that Rapier just instantly paid off. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but PA basically got one shot. And I mean,
Yeah.
that was no meta. That was no meta. That was just empowered.
Yeah, it's looking dodgy. I don't know if PA spent the buyback or. Yeah, so PA is 580 gold from buyback,
Yeah.
which is Unfortunate.
I mean, that should just be ends. This is a full meta being popped here. Unfortunately, I mean, they could try and defend this. I think it's possible, but they don't have Doom either. I mean, oh, they're going to try and skew them back. They could kill, potentially bring down Magnus. It looks like they will, but I think they're going to lose a couple heroes for this now. Oh, man, Doom has buyback though. Magnus buybacks as well, but he's just defending. I mean, if they can potentially save this until meta's over, maybe Beastmaster coming back. I don't know. I think this is just over. Wow.
Meta's not looking done.
Oh man, they're gonna lose Luna. He's got buyback, but they can't control him. Look at him absolutely destroy the buildings.
Shit, that
GG.
tension. And basically, V2, we praised him, but no buyback is no win.
Yeah, that was a bit sketch. Look, I don't think he expected the rapier like 100%. That like absolutely destroyed him. I mean, that was brutal. But I mean, very well done from OG there to actually take that game, because I think it was looking very sketch from them. They were super far behind. I mean, ILTW deserved the credit there. I think he played absolutely brilliantly. I mean, if you think about how the Drow went like whatever and 0, ILTW just went 16-0. And funny enough, PA went 16-1, and I think PA's death was the only death. The only death was there at the like 36-minute mark or whatever it was, or the 37, 38-minute mark.
Yeah. My game just opened without patching.
Alright, okay, I don't think there's a patch. Alrighty.
Let's see this patch. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm dumb.
Let me try my side as well. No, it doesn't look like there's a patch. I think we just got baited, right? Wait, I've got a... No, that was just a normal little mini download or whatever it was.
Yeah, okay, now we're baiting all the viewers.
They just super baited everyone. Oh, man.
And those are the type of big brain players that makes you think that they might be able to win game 3.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I've seen a trend. Navi lose game 1, they win the next 2. I'm just saying. And it generally gets easier for them, funny enough. We saw this against VP. They got dumpstered game 1. They had a close game 2, and game 3 they dumpstered. So, I mean, I hope for Navi's sake that isn't the case, but, you know, you see these trends and you begin to wonder. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna wait for the next lobby to go up. Should be up in the next 2-3 minutes. But what a series! You know, obviously this is an important game. Obviously the winner goes into the grand finals. But I mean, it's quite crazy. To be honest, I didn't think Navi would do this well, considering the fact that you know, they did just lose the second match in the series. But you know, they're certainly not rolling over to OG. In fact, OG looked a bit sketchy there for a good while.
Yeah, they're bringing it.
I mean, if you think about it, Thompson was still at the end of that game, like just still underfarmed like throughout the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a case in both games where he had 2 items, and he had 1 item in the first game. But
Yeah.
BKB it's cool. You know, it's a great item. I love it. Won us a game today. But yeah, like, you know, fuck. The buying a BKB every time and not like playing into physical damage, not having any actual items of your own. What does a Silver's Edge actually do? It breaks
PA.
breaks a passive, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I don't know. You know, he kind of, I don't know. He was in a position where he couldn't do any damage, but he could control them to an extent. I mean, you know, we saw those brilliant stuns coming from him. I mean, I just think about that one in the river where he got three heroes. I mean, that won them that fight, hands down. But you know, there were so many points in the game where Navi just had the space because OG didn't really have an oppressive mid-game hero. There was no one being oppressive, right? You know, if you think about Magnus, Clockwork, Phoenix, the Monkey King, they weren't really doing much in the early game. You know, obviously they stalled it out enough. You know, I think Thompson did a good job of splitting them, forcing them to actually deal with him. But at the end of the day, you know, he was dying a lot. I mean, they were picking him off, they were finding him. It was just the TV that they couldn't deal with.
Yeah. At the end of the game, he did a surprising amount of damage, 20,000,
Mm.
which is more than all of the other cores on Navi. So
Yeah.
I guess he did just enough. You know, he did like just enough to be
Did he have more than
relevant.
PA?
No, he didn't have more. He had the most damage in the game,
Oh, okay, yeah, I
40,
thought so.
41,000. But she only did 1.9k building damage, and Beastmaster did 2.6. TV did 14,000.
I suppose that's one thing to look at, right? If you think about game one, right, they had a hero that could close out the game, Leshrak, right? But Doom doesn't do that. Doom does not do that. You know, they could have picked any other. I think Doom was actually underwhelming. To look, I think Iceberg played it well, and it did its job to a certain extent. But I think they could have picked a bunch of other mids that would have done the same. You know, I know they picked it early because it's a bit flex, but it forced them into a position where they had no hero that was going to close out the game. You know, how do they go high ground? How do they force, you know, objectives and stuff? You know, the best objective forces they have was for Roshan, but that didn't feel like it changed anything. The Roshans.
Yeah, OG. I think they, like I said, like they're the kings of Rashford, right? But I also think they know how to like not be counted by Rashford.
Mm.
So they do this thing where they push out bot lane every time when they are dire. They push out bot lane every time the enemy team goes for Rosh, and they're usually at the tier 2. And sometimes the enemy teams actually try and fight bot lane and they feed to OG.
Mm.
But this game they didn't feed bot lane; they fed in middle because people went to go push out bot lane.
Yeah.
So OG like did very well to mitigate that advantage.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about like the PA was at a point where it almost seemed like OG were never going to be able to deal with PA. I mean, only at the end of the game they killed her, right? Like that's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
I
they,
mean,
they killed her with no buyback, and she had 500 gold to buyback.
yeah.
So, you know, she need. I think if she got like Thompson, maybe she would have ticked back into having buyback, and she just didn't get it.
Oh, that's so brutal. And to think that they, you know, at that point of the game, I would say they were still in very much in control. Um, you know, because if you think about it, they were still winning fights. I mean, just before that fight, they actually won a fight where they killed 3 heroes and they were just kiting TV. But then they just lost that fight and all of a sudden it was over. You know, and it's weird because, you know, it shouldn't have been the case in my opinion. You know, I mean, he was 500k away, but they potentially shouldn't have taken that fight.
Yeah, and I also noticed like he stood just outside of the camp with
Hmm.
his Eon blur with his blur active,
Yeah.
and he was waiting to break a smoke. I think he expected it.
Hmm.
Maybe he didn't expect to die.
I mean,
Um,
he got. I mean, he pretty much got one shot, and considering that he hadn't died and had everything he could have possibly wanted that game, um, and to get absolutely. I mean, that's crazy to think about, right? Empowered TB with meta on with a rapier. I mean, that's crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, he critted. Did he have Daedalus?
he did.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he critted on that shot. It was like, it was insane. And he had MKB. He might have even procced the MKB as well. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I think he was critting for like 1,800 damage.
Oof, yeah, that's insane. Alright, let's see what's going on with this match. Let's see if the lobby's still up. It looks like the lobby started, so we should be underway for this game 3. It is currently 1-1 between OG and Navi. I mean, winner goes into the grand finals of this tournament, and I think OG and Navi can both smell it. I think we might see something crazy from Navi though this game. I don't think they can go for the same draft, just different heroes. I don't think that's gonna work. You know,
So you think there's like a fundamental issue maybe with it? I don't know,
I think
man.
OG's found their stride, and I think you got to do something to break that, right? Because OG are going into this match feeling comfortable with being able to deal with their playstyle, right? You know, like extending this game, drawing it out, unless they decide to go for something with a bit more oppressive game closing hero, you know, like the Lesh was, because you're not going to do it with a Doom. You know, Beastmaster was a pushing hero, but he's not going to finish the game, right? You know, he doesn't just like all of a sudden pop Edict and all of a sudden buildings are dead. You know, it takes him time. He's a bit more of a slow pusher, which they could deal with. You know, the TB illusions were just so oppressive. Um,
Yeah, and like you slow sieging the tower and your side lanes are just
yeah,
running
yeah,
everywhere,
yeah.
mate.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Yeah, I think OG did maybe like they have been executing split push quite well lately. OG,
Hmm.
it's like one game against Nigma, they were behind. It looked like this game was lost, and they eventually lost the game, but they split pushed the map constantly,
Yeah,
and they drew out the game that looked like it was going to be 25 minutes to like 60 minutes. And playing 60-minute games, like it always sketchy. You lose a fight, you lose a game to an
yeah,
APO.
100%. I mean, that was absolutely wild. But it looks like this lobby is up, Shape, if you want to join up. Guys, this is going to be the final match of this best of three. Winner goes into the final, so we'll see what transpires. I think, my money's on Navi changing things up. I think they're in a position where they need to, or at least do something, or go back to something a bit more stable. I think obviously they might still pick up things like Slardar, PA, those kind of things, but I don't know. I felt like Oracle was a bit underwhelming as well.
I,
I think it
yeah,
wasn't as aggressive as their playstyle permitted.
I don't think it was actually high. I don't think it was aggressive enough. But also, I think Thompson in the second game, he did have impact in that he won his lane.
Mm,
And
Entire team band.
that's not really something that he does. So they dealt with him throughout the game, I would say, quite well. Yes, he did create space for the TV,
Pick it good.
but for the most part, they were bursting him and they stopped him from getting involved. So if they can
100%.
oppress him in lane, he's going to be inert. He's not going to do anything in
Yeah,
this game.
we do see that they went back for the IO. That's quite interesting. It's a little bit weird, right? I don't know. I don't know if I like IO. Just based on game one, I don't know.
I think Notel's IO was better than his clock. His clock was garbage.
Hmm.
Um, like not to be, not to flame,
Yeah,
but
don't flame him. He's your favorite.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Actually, the only reason I support OG is because it's Notel plays for OG. I supported Fnatic, and as soon like when Notel moved over to Dota, it was like my favorite player. But
Yeah.
that clock was absolute shite.
Yeah, I don't like clock in this patch in general. I think, look, I think it kind of has some inherently good things. It has great catch. It's reasonably tanky, good control to an extent. But their lineup wasn't necessarily designed around that, right? Or at least you didn't see them like going for like executes around the clockwork. It was generally a bit chaotic, actually. I would say in the last game. There
Yeah,
were hook
I
shots like
agree.
missing all over the place, and not to say like No-Tail was like playing badly. I just don't think the lineup was designed around, playing around this clockwork. It didn't feel like they were roaming around trying to find hook shots and make plays. They were more of like shoving out waves kind of play style, And that clock doesn't really do that. Clock isn't he doesn't clear waves. He's not like he likes the map to be a bit like stagnant heroes all over the place, and making plays with other cores. Thompson was always far away from him. You know, like Phoenix can't really kill a hero with him, so you know it was a bit weird. But I mean, obviously the lineup still worked.
It did, yeah. I mean, they basically made space for a TV. They did a forfeited one,
Yeah.
and it was really like that one was like random.
Which is weird because I don't think they have the best protect heroes, right?
Oh,
You
dire
know,
team
like Magnus and Clock don't have the best saves at all. You know, they have some mechanics to save, but not like traditional
but
saves.
Magnus gives his teammate that farming battery. I
Yeah.
think that was
You really
a
gotta
bit
pick a hero.
special.
You got 10 seconds left.
100%. This worries me though, Bryn. I see that they picked up a Luna. Last time I saw them pick up a Luna, it was mid and it was on Thompson. That scares me, dude.
No, it's definitely ILTW Luna. I think ILTW is like so mid one. I think he's a great carry player, and I love him as an addition to OG. But I don't think that he's as good a carry player as someone like who's been like a veteran in the role. Like ILTW just has heroes, you know, that he plays, whereas mid one doesn't.
Yeah.
Mid one has strats that he plays. Mid one can play strategies, but not.
Yeah. Look, you know, I think ILTW is always going to feel comfortable on a hero like Luna. You know, just because of the inherent ability to abuse farming patterns, which someone like ILTW is very good at. I mean, we saw it in the last game with the TV.
You better pick your hero.
You know, he
5
absolutely
seconds.
dominated them because of that. Alrighty, so it looks like they went back for the Lina and for the PA. So I think maybe Navi just don't care. They're just like, our strat is good. We will commit to it.
Go, dire team. Pick 'em up.
Which is
Pick
kind of
'em out.
interesting. They did take out the Phoenix though this time, and they actually went for a Shadow Demon as well, which is pretty strong against
Come on,
Luna.
Radiant team. You gotta pick 'em right.
Yeah, I think Shadow Demon is disgusting against Luna.
Yeah. And funny enough, probably good against Io as well, right? You insta relocate somewhere, you know, you can
10
orb
seconds
him or
to pick your
whatever.
hero, you
Um,
moron.
it kind of
And-
works similar to like a disruptor.
5 seconds left now.
Oh, and it's a traditional
Come
Lina
on,
Shadow
dire
Demon
team.
combo.
Pick it good.
Yeah, they've got a support duo, and I don't think Centaur survives a duo like that.
Yeah, and I think you know he obviously has that I can't remember what it's called, but something catch, Soul Catcher, I think it is, which is good at dealing with tanky heroes, which is kind of
Yeah.
it's a weird
You really
one.
gotta pick
Instant
your
HP
hero. You got 10
removal,
seconds
yeah.
left.
Look, I kind of like Centaur with
5
Io
seconds,
though as
Morty.
well,
It'll be
and
fine.
Luna.
But I mean, if you look, yeah, this is Luna mid, and Thompson goes like Magic Build or something, E-Blade or whatever.
Yeah, just E-Blade
Then-
Axe
then
or
I-
something.
you know, I mean, E-Blade, it's kind of nice to disrupt the E-Blade Luna,
Yeah.
but it's not as nice as like E-Blade Mantis style Luna. You know, that's
Yeah.
disgusting. Or like a Mantis style Dragon Lance Luna. I think is
Yeah.
going to be better to disrupt.
Radiant team pick.
Oof, and they go for Axe. Axe is an interesting one. I think that's pretty good.
Radiant team
Oh
Thompson Buck.
no, oh no. Didn't you have some concerns around this?
Yeah, I did, and
Oof.
they usually tend to do this in game 3s and 5s,
I
you know.
know.
And
Oh, no.
and those game 3s and 5s, they
10
haven't
seconds to
been
pick your hero.
proved. You know, he's not proving himself, but
I mean, Pucks
I-
are
I-
not bad
You
here,
better pick
though.
your hero.
I mean,
5 seconds.
if you look how squishy they are, it's good at dealing with PA. It's good control. Yeah.
yes, it's
I
also
don't know.
an E-Blade. It's also an E-Blade hero. He goes like earning to E-Blade on
Oh,
Puck.
are you kidding me? Does he seriously do that on Puck? I mean,
Yes, he goes earning to. He does. He played against a Storm with Orchid the other day, and he didn't even buy heals.
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
Did he go earn E-Blade? Wow.
Yeah, even earn E-Blade.
Okay,
again,
well.
But I think one thing OG really likes about this E-Blade is it's very good against PA.
Yeah.
You just have to get it early enough.
Yeah, and obviously Puck is just not a bad hero with E-Blade. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it this game. But I mean, I feel better that Luna is definitely on ILTW though. You know, as much as I don't know about the Puck Thompson, I mean, I'm sure he's going to dominate, but, you know, ILTW on Luna is definitely better than... Because, they played Thompson Luna 2 days ago.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds
I mean,
left.
maybe
Yeah,
is this an
I watched
ILTW
that.
puck? That's the real question, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a step back.
Yeah.
Step dominant.
Ooh, I mean, it
Yeah,
could
but
work.
doesn't. Yeah, I feel like Puck doesn't win lane against Lina. So now showing your Puck just gives them options.
But they could send Sensor mid, right? And then Lina sucks.
Come on, Radiant team, you gotta pick him right.
Oh, she farms.
Yeah.
I
I don't
think
know, it's
that's
a
the
weird
scary
one, right?
part of Lina. Like Lina doesn't need to win lane. She needs to draw lane. She likes to win lane, but she hates losing lane.
This is a bit weird for me, right? OG in both games previously have been picking heavy team fight, right? I feel like they're not that heavy into team. I feel like they might lack a bit of damage here potentially in the mid game.
Definitely.
Because like Axe is going to come online and start running at people. They've got an oppressive dual lane or duo support on the side of Navi. Whereas OG don't really, right? What's their supports? Wind Ranger, IO.
And I think this Lina core is looking at like I think they Navi gonna pick a 5 now, and this Lina core is just looking massive.
Hmm.
And
what
if
about
you-
just like a Grimstroke, right?
Grimstroke could be a nice like that could be a really good pick.
I think that would be good. Look, one thing I do think is they're quite squishy on Navi. They do have Axe, but the rest of them are absolutely squishy.
But they have a save.
Oh, they do have a
Zeus.
save, that's true.
Jump on in there and choose that hero.
Alright.
So Lina and Zeus are similar in like they burst. But yeah.
I mean, I think Zeus is good. It's good against Wind. I think it's reasonable against Puck, but as the game progresses, right, Puck will be oppressive to Zeus, though.
Zeus, I don't know. Zeus has been really good in this patch. Puck
Yeah.
needs to commit a little bit harder to deal damage and to actually even control heroes. Like he's got coil, but coil is actually it's quite useless if you don't actually do anything.
Yeah, normally you don't need coil against Zeus. You're either going to kill him or not, right? It's generally
Yeah.
very early on you know if you're going to kill him or not.
Yeah. So I think the coil not really that useful against like Zeus or in terms of impact wise. Zeus's Q thrown out a few times more valuable than coil.
The one thing
with
though,
his passive.
the one thing for OG though is they have incredible catch, right? You know, if they decide to go on someone, they're gonna do it, right? They've got the relocate, they've got the Centaur War Runner ulti, they've got the Puck, they've got the Wind. You know, if they do want to go on like a Zeus, he's never gonna escape that, right? You know, that's one of the challenges with maybe a Zeus pick, is if they start rolling onto the Navi, they're going to get those kills. It's not like if Navi decides to go on like a Puck, Puck still has options, right? Whereas Zeus generally has one option.
I think early on yes, but later on I think ST he's gonna save Zeus. I think Axe Call is a good counter initiation, and the way that they play the past 4 Lina has been quite defensive. That like LSA comes up. Or it's past 5 Lina, or always on the fly is playing the Lina.
Alright. That's different because I think Roger played him in the last game, so that's +5. But that's weird though, right? In my opinion, Lina is like one of the weaker lane +5s. It's generally better in an off lane because it likes to lane with a strong laner.
He is posturing around about the year, with 3 heroes, I think. There's a kill here for Navi.
I don't know, the bait is real. Oh, okay, no, they're not gonna commit to anything. There's a disrupt, they're gonna go for the stun, they're gonna combo it, they're gonna land it, but I don't think they can kill him. Oh, the damage, the blocks in fact are doing so much damage. They might actually bring down ILTW, he pops, it looked like a 1 charge. Oh man, did they both come with 1s? Wow, okay.
Wow, one level 1.
On both of them, I think the IO also popped a 1 charge here.
I think maybe they were expecting a Shadow Demon.
I mean, it's, yeah. I suspect Shadow Demon's staying there and Lina's just gonna head top.
Rooftops and Mistress Block.
Oof.
I think this might actually be bad for Zeus. Zeus.
If it goes under the tower.
Yeah. No. First in iron, the tower for Thompson.
And we see that Iceberg's actually gone for the Chain Lightning build. I think that's probably better, right? Just because of the potential juke from Puck on the Lightning bolts, right?
Yeah, I also think that Puck, he's if he gets harassed, he doesn't really have high HP. So.
100%. Just a bit of cheeky prodding there. I mean, Zeus. I think both heroes come out of this alright, though, probably. I mean, probably slightly more in Zeus's favor, but Puck should be able to just clear waves, right?
Yeah,
it's a little
I think
scary
Puck
though.
has more mobility and obviously the lockdown in his ulti early on for rotations. But I mean, Zeus, you can rely on his team to deal the initial damage and then yeet the kills. So
just gonna yeet him. I suppose one of the challenges is who rotates onto mid for OG, right? Io's not gonna do it. Wind can do it, but it's not like reliable, particularly reliable, you know. Oh man, just a bit of back and forth in mid. It looks like No-Tail's having a bit of trouble here, but it looks like PA is actually having the poggest of lanes so far. Actually winning this lane so far, but they're actually trying to initiate. The stun comes out onto Centaur, but it looks like V-Tune is just gonna walk that one off, and should be alright, yeah.
Yeah, Luna is half the CS of PA right now.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward, but you know, this is an impressive lane, right? Axe, Shadow Demon. I mean, as much as they both have wands, you know, they I suppose they just keep popping the wands, right? So, I mean, they're sitting on so many full one charges essentially on the Luna. Alrighty, it looks like, oh, they're actually going onto Wind. They actually get the first blood. Wow, onto the Wind Ranger. That's not a hero I thought would. And they're actually going to be tipping Seb. Bit cheeky there, but pretty good kill for them. I think this...
5 stacks on this Luna, though.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a lot of stacks, but that's 6 stacks. Flip. I wonder how long you can keep this going. I think they're going to pop. Oh, he goes for it. Oh, he got it. He keeps it going. It's onto 7 stacks. I mean, if he keeps this going, it doesn't matter how many one charges. Oh, we see Zeus going down mid. It looks like there was a rotation from the Wind. After all, wow. And it looks like he's only going to be able to get up to 8 stacks. But I mean, that's almost enough to kill him. Oh, man. Oh man, they're gonna get the Shadow Demon, but they're in a bit of trouble here, but they can actually just turn onto Axe, who doesn't really have a choice there, but to back off. Oof, a little bit of back and forth, but I think OG are looking like in a reasonable position here, as they're gonna potentially find Always Wanna Fly. Yeah, they missed the Shackle, but they should get the Stomp. Okay, he gets his stun off, but I think he's still in a lot of trouble here, as yeah, he's just gonna get blocked up here, it looks like. Oh, gets the double
Beautiful
stun.
LSAs, yeah.
Ooh, pops the Fairy Fire as well. He should, yeah, he's just out of there. And that's, I mean, that's brilliant, right? Pierre having an absolute blast here, right?
Yeah, free lane top.
I mean, ooh, even Zeus, right? Zeus sitting at 31 last hits, Pierre at 28. I mean, that's incredible, right? I mean, that's a good start. Unfortunately, ooh, in fact, they're even diving bottom here, but I suppose it is Axe, right? He's just going to cut waves.
Yeah, but I mean, Luna, she can't really handle this harass like under the tower.
Oh man, they even get the courier. It's true though, right? Like Luna's not one that likes to be super pressed, right? Because she doesn't have like anything particularly good early on. Like she can't go jungle like the TB as early as TB, right? She needs like at least 2 or 3 points in the glaives.
Yeah, and TB like had that battery in Magnus last game,
yeah.
so
So it's going to be interesting. We do see that Puck has caught up a bit in terms of the last hits. Has used Dream Call here, and it looks like Wind is going to run in there. But Puck's actually the one in a lot of trouble and will actually go down. I mean, he had almost no points in his other abilities, just essentially Chain Lightning here. Is going to go for the stun. Doesn't have enough mana for anything else. Centaur's actually going to try and TP mid. But that was brutal. You know.
Yeah, it's the lack of damage again, and like I said, Puck's coil not that valuable. Like and I hope it does like have more value when they're chasing later on. But you know, Zeus, whether he runs or stands still, he's got 310 movement speed.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
And he kind of wants to just stand there, right? Like, just output the damage, you know. Even if he's going to die, he's still going to output as much as he can. Because he's generally not going to run, right? That's just not... it's just not how he can play the game.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it looks... You know, look, the one thing that still concerns me from Navi is I don't see how they close out the game, right? You know, it's not like there's a lesh in the game that you just feel like, okay, this guy can, when he gets strong enough and the rest of the team are with him, he can just do stuff, you know? I mean,
I think what they
you
do is they just attempt to get to a point where, you know, like, OG can't even fight them.
Yeah. And that's a very possible situation right now, as we see that, you know, this PA and the Zeus seems to be getting a bit out of control.
But Luna looks to be catching up with this big stack count.
Yeah. I mean, they seem to be leaving Luna, which is kind of weird, because I thought they were actually doing quite well against Luna. I mean, you see Luna's even been forced to put in 2 points into the glaives. Obviously, you know, needs to transition at some point. Where's Shadow Demon, actually?
What I like from Navi this game is they managed to shut down Thompson to an extent. He does have his urn now with no boots.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my word, dude. I mean, I'm assuming he... wait, so he's going treads, he's going a full magic wand. In fact, we're seeing a bit of initiation here. They are going to bring down Lina, but it looks like PA should be able to get out of here. In fact, Courier... I should be right.
He didn't quite get the coil on PA.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, that's what they wanted, right?
Yeah, and the last time I seen him on Puck as well, he was missing the coils.
Zeus be with you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. Look, you know, wait, I'm confused now. Did Puck go earn? Puck did go earn, but you see that Seb also has earn, right?
Oh, I did not see that. I mean, I don't know why Seb did that, considering, I mean, this is the way Thompson plays Puck every game.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Look, maybe we're getting next leveled here. Maybe it's Omega Bait.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe one of them builds it into a vessel, because Puck doesn't usually build it into a vessel.
Alright. Another big thing is, I see Luna is Quelling Blade and Iron Talon. That's also kind of baffling. I feel like they're just next leveling me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I feel like I don't know how to play Dota anymore. I don't know, maybe watching OG is not a good idea if I want to... Well, relocate coming in top. Oh, they're going to try going to Lina. Lina pops the stun, but unfortunately misses. PA's going to try get out, but I think they found PA, and it looks like PA's going to have to do some serious juking. Okay, no.
Get up there.
Oh, and goes back.
Luna's back bottom, but not in danger.
Yeah, no, I think there was only Axe there. In fact, it looks like they're going on mid. Dreamcore dropped just on Shadow Demon. I'm not sure where Zeus is. The disruptions there should be able to survive this. No, he won't. He actually gets brought down. I'm not sure what damage there was, though. And in fact, Lina in a lot of trouble now. Thompson's just going a bit ham here. Oh man, okay, wow, this Puck seems to be causing huge problems for them.
Yeah, they traded 2 supports there for Dream Coil.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit a question mark on the Lina just dropping in there. I thought it was actually Zeus that was coming in there. I'm not 100% sure where Zeus is, but it looks like he is mid now.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't think that Lena was gonna. I thought, Lena wasn't gonna die there. I was surprised at how much damage Buck did.
Yeah, I mean he just got treads. Just as that happened. I mean,
I mean, Zeus is still denying an insane amount of creeps against Thompson in mid.
yeah.
Like now that he's returned.
I mean he's almost got Ags. I mean it's almost 11 minutes in, and he's sitting with 3 nulls and almost Ags. That's pretty something. That's pretty crazy as well. I mean, that I think that's going to add a lot to the side of Navi. Oh, oh! He baited it out and he got it. He got the puck. In fact, it looks like Seb. Yeah, I don't think Seb has the damage to deal with Zeus. Sensor ulti being popped. It looks like they're trying to get out of there. Okay, he was actually initiated on. It looks like Luna was initiated on there. In fact, they're going to go into Kezu. Can they bring him down? They do get the stun. The Laguna Blade is out there. There's a lot of stacks. And there's Zeus comes in with the kill. Yeah, I mean, oof, that was a bit rough.
Yeah, and I mean, Axe is free farming right now. He's working on his Blink Dagger.
The funny thing is, he hasn't actually fought at all, which is quite crazy, because I'm used to Axis being super aggressive. But I suppose he shouldn't fight without Blink, right? They've got ways of killing him.
Because I think he's going to get the Blink so early that even without like a tankiness item, he's tanky.
Oh, they're going to go on him. He is just going to TP out the call. Is there enough? Oh, it is going to be enough. What a play. The tips come out for
was long
general.
enough. How is that
What
possible?
level was that? Level 3.
It was a Mask of Madness. He couldn't.
Oh, Luna. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So LTW popped it. He must have popped it before he even got there, right?
Yeah, I
did see the animation right as he TP'd out, but initiation. Wonder if they'll go into this. No, Thompson's there. Gets the double stun. He drops the Dream Call, trying to go into Lena. Oh, the Ags coming through. Oh, they do bring down. It looks like Thompson's going to pay for it though.
Not a worthwhile trade. And I think this is the start of Thompson's feed chain. He usually goes through in almost every game. Where he starts trading his life for what seems to be objectives.
Yeah, I don't know if Lena was an objective though.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I find it hilarious that Lena could potentially be the objective with 11 lost hits. Look at these stacks coming out from Navi though. I think this is the Shadow Demon doing most of this. I mean, they got huge stacks in their jungle. I think PA took the ones in their top jungle though. Does not have... Yeah, doesn't quite have Battle Food just yet.
But Luna now has maxed out glaives. No ulti, but maxed out glaives.
Oh man.
Is that another dead Thompson? Big surprise.
Yeah, but it looks like Axe is not getting out of this one now. He goes for the call TP again. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe
it's again that Mask of Madness Luna.
No, well, Luna did pop the stun as they went in. But
why didn't he hold it?
Win didn't have mana.
Yeah.
And that costs Io's life technically.
Yeah. So I think this game, is looking very much in Navi's favor. PA's got her Battle Fury, so...
Oh man, this could be a bit of a challenge. There's no ulti on Luna. ILTW is getting chased. They do pop the ulti to get out of there, but they're going to continue. Zeus is there. He pops the Nimbus and actually gets that kill. And in fact, I think Seb is also possibly going to fall here with the Zeus. Yeah, they're going to find him. They're going to call him, and they're going to dunk him as well. Yeah, the aggressiveness from Navi is very refreshing. Actually, it's it's permanent. It's fast. It's always. And in fact, Lena's mid. Okay, yeah, he's not going to commit. I think Thompson realizes he can't just keep committing like that.
Yeah, for Lena, I mean, she's valueless, and it's also the only hero that he can actually, the enemy's pause 5. It's the only hero that he can actually use fully on this map right now.
And I think always when it flies is also fine with that. He's soaking mid XP, getting a little bit of farm. He doesn't really care. He's farming a bit, which is like what he's going to lose, or possibly even he's going to net gold that way. Whereas, is it worth it for Thompson? Kind of question mark. Oh, they just smoked on a ward. I wonder if they must have noticed this. Oh, Zeus, you need to be careful. They must have known the smoke is coming, and I think
Yeah. So Zeus, yeah, Zeus is gonna get out
Dire's
here.
top tower's
yeah, they scanned to see if they were going top, so they know that they're coming mid.
Luna is going for an Ags now, which is interesting. And then
I mean, that
they're stepping up on Luna right now, though. Yeah, and that's what the
Yeah.
master. That's easy burst, and I don't think Ags is gonna save you from that.
no,
Actually,
that won't.
um,
I mean, it's interesting,
Often-
right, though, because if you got E-Blade, it kind of is technically extremely good, but it doesn't help you survive. It only helps you kill, right? It's aggressive.
yeah. So I mean, I guess the Ags is also a kind of a counter to the Shadow Demon.
Speaking of Shadow Demon, he's going to fall mid there. Brilliantly done. And in fact, they're going to pop the Lina as well, probably here. Yeah, they will.
Yeah, and they found the stacks in the jungle as well. But Zeus is now level 15. Ags and Kaya.
I mean,
Who's
Zeus
looking
is
deep.
farmed. Zeus is very farmed. And same with Pierre as well. I think these are the two challenging heroes for them. I mean, they're actually sitting pretty much at the same worth. In fact, Zeus sitting at more net worth. In fact, oh, they're going to potentially kill him. The stuns are there. Yeah, that should be a dead Zeus. And I mean, that's a challenge for Navi if they keep getting picked off like that, because they don't have the best like heroes to come back with, right? You know, if Zeus starts having a hard game, he's going to have a hard game for the rest of the game. I mean, I don't see any further item that could potentially change that for him.
This is true. I would like to see OG actually slow down now. They got a good pick on Zeus. Right, they're giving their Luna a chance to like kind of catch up. And I want to see them get that E-Blade on Puck because he's only 700 gold away. But
And I mean, you know, Pierre's not going to have BKB for a while. Pierre still needs to go for the Deso, or most likely will go for Deso first.
she's actually about 1,000 gold away from a BKB.
If she went BKB, yeah.
Yeah, but she already bought it.
Oh, do you think she
Well,
will? Okay, okay.
She has it queued up.
As
she
first.
doesn't have the mithril armor now, so she could change.
But I think she'll
1,000 gold
need it
not
though,
much
right?
for that BKB.
Oh, they pop
Ooh.
Zeus ult. Oh, they're gonna go. Oh, they actually get him with the call, but the rest of the team's there. He's gonna have to get out of there. And in fact, they're changing targets. Oh man, the Dream Core beautifully positioned. That's gonna net them another kill here onto Always Wanna Fly. And I think the rest of Navi are just maybe a little confused because they weren't there. I mean, I know that Zeus used all his skills there, but you know that was a bit of a weird pick-off, right? They had to have known they were all there.
Yeah, I think they guessed. OG were playing around the triangle.
Yeah.
And Zeus ulted for vision. I think it was a nice idea by Navi, but it didn't work.
Yeah, I think they need to start playing around with, you know, their other heroes. They have to. The Zeus has to be there. I think Vichu needs to start fighting potentially. We see he has actually brought out on the BKB, so I think he's got to just now fight. I don't think.
So
there's
V2 has the BKB, Luna's got the Ags, but I mean V2's got the BKB.
Yeah.
Thompson's got the E-Blade, but the BKB's out. So
But I feel like Zeus is just gonna die, right? Like Lina, Zeus, Shadow Demon, these heroes are just. I mean, even Axe to an extent. Oh, smoke up. They're gonna spot one. The Shackle's actually there. Oh, brilliant Shackle, but it looks like they're initiating onto the Luna. And they're actually going to bring down the Wind Ranger, and so will Shadow Demon fall. But it looks like they're going to pay for more as Axe goes down. In fact, Lina looking like she's going to go down.
and he is isolated, yeah.
Oh, nice juke, but the stuns are there. Oh, Dreamcore's there, dodges it. Oh, and look at the ulti coming through from ILTW. I mean, they're starting to pay off. I'm not sure. I don't know how that fight went. I mean, it looked like Navi got initiated on there, even though they smoked up. I mean, did you see that shackle from Seb? I mean, that was crazy. He's so quick
Yeah,
with his fingers. Like,
It was, yeah, I mean, but how much information did he have? Because, well, you know, as Wind Ranger with your 1,200 HP, you know, do you want to be blinking in?
yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. Look, he still died in
just
that fight,
did.
right? But I mean, the amount he did in the fight was worth it.
Tower's under attack.
And this is a bit of
Yeah.
a challenge, right? That was a 10-second BKB from PA, and they unfortunately couldn't even bring anyone down.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the PA couldn't get off, like,
any damage. I expected damage to come out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it was the IO. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure.
Oh man, they're trying to take another fight here. It looks like Axe is going to miss the call. They're jumping in. They're trying to kill Seb here. It looks like he might actually fall here. Yeah, he will. Oof, man, but they need to bring down the rest of the heroes. It looks like, oh, the E-Blade is starting to pay off the Dream Cores there. Are they going to be able to kill anyone here? It looks like not. But I see a second E-Blade coming out on the Luna.
I mean, it's still. I don't know if that answers the BKB question on here. Because once she gets that Deso, I think that she bursts heroes very quickly. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Look, I
within
think
BKB, she might be able to get, a kill or two.
I think it makes Zeus's life incredibly hard, right? Because he hasn't. I mean, he just got Blink, which is kind of good actually against that, because you can at least dodge it. But it kind of leaves you in a weird position where all the other heroes other than PA are kind of easy kills. You know, I mean, I still think they can itemize for that. You know, Yules, Blinks, you know.
But like the TB last game though, you know, only his whole team was feeding.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see what they can do. They're going to run into Axe. Oh, he needs to blink out of there. Get out of there, Shadow Demon. Oh, no. Yeah, they need to be careful here. Are they going to go for this? It looks like they are going to try go for it. They do actually run at him, but the relocate is there. Bring him out. But it looks like Thompson's actually running in there. Doesn't get stunned up there. It looks like they actually relocated aggressively, actually finding one there, but I think they're actually just going to get out of here. And in fact, it looks like Always Wanna Fly is not getting out of there. What a relocate coming in from No Tail. I actually thought they were defensively relocating there.
Yeah, I was also confused.
Yeah. Oh man.
No Tail IO in the last, 2 tournaments has been just
Yeah.
insane.
No, it's absolutely insane.
I definitely prefer him on IO
to Clockwork.
Yeah, he's also been playing Clockwork, and like I think they've been winning games with it. But
I wonder what they're gonna build.
I mean, he's IO.
Yeah, just to speak to this IO, they obviously played IO in game 1, right? And it didn't go so well. But this game, he actually has some items. He's got his bottle, he's got his mech, he's got a cloak. Before he had nothing. He had like 2 pieces of mech. So it's looking like a completely different game here.
OG now with all the ults up. Oh, actually no, they just use synth ulti.
Yeah. I mean, they can still fight, right? I mean, there's no Zeus ult technically.
Yeah, PA is 200 gold away from Deso, but also they don't have a top tower, so this could be an active PA buys out.
Oh man, they're gonna lose their support duo. They're so aggressive now, OG. I think they realize that the game's like in their favor. I mean, they relocate. Oh, they relocated in for the kill. Alright. And that should be a free Roche.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to rush. Maybe Navi can stall till their supports are alive.
Yeah.
Seb's definitely gonna go down here. What? Tankiest wind range of my life.
I mean, it does end up going down, but look at those E-Blades. Oh, there's the ulti from...
And it does nothing into the BKB, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, as you said, the Deso came out. I mean, we saw the burst damage coming through. And they successfully defend Roche, right? I don't know. Can they go back in here? It's like...
I don't know. OG don't have any ultimates.
I mean, I suppose PA doesn't have BKB, right? That's probably another big thing. But they also don't have damage for Roche, right? They're going so heavy into this magical burst damage. I mean,
yeah, I think
totally doing
his players play to push out bottom and hopefully OG makes a mistake.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this poor Lina 0 and 9 sitting with just basically tranquils. And in fact, he's probably going to die. They're even committing a relocate onto this. Yeah, he's unfortunately going to be 0 and 10 here. Yeah, E-Blade didn't even need it there. ILTW just gets him with the Lucent Beam. But yeah, this is I think it's a bit rough for Navi, right? Because even though you know, like they have the BKB for the like E-blades and stuff, but you know, even Zeus doesn't have anything. I mean, Zeus can't fight now. It feels like Zeus can't fight, which is a challenge because he was such a pivotal role in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe they can't fight outside of the base, but with Zeus, Axe, even PA's poke, Shadow Demon's poke, if they can't siege with Luna, because if Shadow Demon disrupts him, then
Yeah.
you know. So I think they do have good high ground defense. They can extend this game.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like they are just setting up to take mid tower here. I mean, they could potentially initiate here if they wanted to, but I think Seb, yeah, placed a good ward there so they don't get jumped in. I mean,
Ooh, Dire, you gotta fortify them, their structures. Good work.
I actually see Luna, the ILTW has actually queued up the Octarine core, so he's committing heavily onto this magic build.
Dire's middle tower's under attack. Dire's middle tower just took a big beating.
I mean, does it fall off? I don't know, because who on their side buys BKBs? I don't think Axe will get a BKB soon. I don't think Zeus wants to really get a BKB.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any BKB is queued.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's certainly going to always be value against the rest of them.
Thompson going
man.
up on 2 supports. But it's not
That's
looking good
getting
for him.
Oh,
Looking like a bit of a chain feed.
yeah, they do get the disruption there, but oh man, he will fall. Looks like Kezu is going to try and run out of this, but I suspect he's going to get called. And yeah, once PA jumps in there, it's going to be a completely different story. And oof, yeah, that's a bit rough. I'm not 100% sure what happened to the reload. I'm assuming it must have got cancelled. Can you cancel relocates at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I think maybe he was just a bit too deep. For OG to relocate him. You can cancel a reload, you know.
Yeah.
Both the enemy and yourself.
Alright. See, they actually picked up a gem now on No-Tail. I mean, this is a weird scenario, right? Like, I don't know. What do you do if you're Navi, right? I know they had a good fight there, but it doesn't feel like they can still push out. And I suppose that's the power of Io, right? You know, that oppression. We saw them like slightly push out their base, and all of a sudden there was a play from OG.
I think Navi continue farming, you know, get ahead in this game.
Yeah, we see Axis queued up that BKB like we was mentioning earlier.
And with this build, like one of the issues is definitely so Luna is now committed her ultimate, and it's cooldown for 120 seconds. I don't see it doing too much without her ulti.
Yeah.
It's quite vulnerable.
I mean, Navi are forced to stay in their base, but I mean, I genuinely think they could potentially go for a smoke up. I mean, PA's got Basher now. BKB is obviously up. You know, Zeus ulti. I think Zeus ulti should be up soon. Yeah, 9 seconds.
I don't think so. I think what Navi want is to sit in the base and wait for OG to make the aggressive play, because OG are an aggressive team.
Yeah.
And eventually they're gonna make a mistake, you know, trying to go high ground too early. Or...
Yeah, we see a couple things being drawn on the map, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because I think you're right. If OG overcommit, it's a big problem, right? Because this is not a scaling Luna. It's not like that raid boss kind of Luna. This is like a, you know, we're gonna win in 30-40 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean that 30-minute mark is approaching.
Yeah, because who else scales on the side of OG, right? Puck is probably their best scaling hero outside of the Luna.
Puck is going for Bloodstone.
Oh man, they find Io. They're trying to go into Luna. I'm not sure what was there a relocate. It looks like they even saved the kill for it.
With the Aegis.
Yo. I mean, they left him alive for the ages. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, that's rough. That's rough.
Back in the game, OG are on a timer, so
Let's see, it looks like, oh, they're trying to go, and oh, they spot him and they're actually bringing down the bash coming through. I mean, that was a bit cheeky. I mean, Iceberg could have gone down there. That was rough. And in fact, I think they picked up the gem as well from Notel.
All of Thompson's spells on cooldown. I don't know. Besides Dream Coil, which he then used. I'm not sure.
I'm going to use mid tower now as well.
Radiant's middle tower
And Roshan spawns in 2 minutes, so I think at least now Navi are in a position where they can potentially contest this.
Yeah, I mean, Navi they're even now with network, and they have the PA that actually looks scary with his BKB. And I think Ags this game, we questioned these Ags, I think, last game. I think Ags this game will be really good because it means you can maybe get like 2 kills even though your BKB is down to 5 seconds.
Yeah. And funny enough, just to jump back to your point about the current situation in this game, I mean, they just used Gem to deward a bunch of the stuff on the map. You know, they went and put it back in base, or they... Wait, where did it go? Alright, okay, anyway, they got rid of it, right? And then they essentially now have control of the map again. As we see a smoke actually coming out from them, they're not going to find anything, but... I mean, you know, OG are forced to stay back now.
Luna building BKB now. Again, I don't know about the BKB Luna.
I mean, I think she needs it, right? Just because there's a Zeus. I mean, Zeus has Refresher Shot now, and that's kind of scary. You know, as much as they could deal with Zeus before, I think, you know, double ulti, double numbers, that's... You know, things like Wind don't like that. Wind is not going to like that. You know, Eye is going to hate that. Even Puck to an extent, right? Puck can't dodge everything. Puck is never going to be able to dodge most of what they can output. Just because it's going to come through so thick and so fast.
Dire's bottom tower's under attack.
Yeah, I might be calling it a little bit early, but I think Navi takes this game with this magic damage Luna.
Yeah, look, I
BKB,
think...
what is BKB even in
Yeah.
this game?
I think OG have to get the next Roche, and they have to end the game with that Roche. I think that's like their play, right? You know, because they can technically still do it, right? They can still technically burst these heroes, but for how long can they, right? Axe is going to have BKB. He actually bought it out, so he has it now. You know, Lena's going to have a Yule, so finally going to have an item. These are things that they wouldn't have had to have dealt with if the game was going slightly different. You know.
So, PA is queuing up that Ags now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you just want to run through how that works, that Ags?
No.
Okay.
Not because I don't know.
No, that's fine. So it causes Blur to be an instant cast and applies a Dispel. And anytime you get a kill, it refreshes abilities.
Lovely.
Yeah, so that's pretty rough. Oh man, and they're actually going for the initiate here. They do get the shackle off, but the Zeus ulti's coming through. They don't pop Nimbus. Axe goes down. It looks like Centaur is still going though. He's going to find another one, but they get Toxin on Puck. And in fact, Roger actually gets off a bunch of stuff there. And in fact, here comes the rest of the spells.
Focusing with her BKB. She's focusing with Luna.
Oh, but
Luna gets saved actually.
But I mean, not entirely saved. Oh no, look at that damage! Oh my word, that just absolutely bursted them. I mean, one crit in it would have been completely different, but that was not the case. And OG take that fight. That's a huge fight with Roche being up. Ooh, man. That feels bad. I mean, we spoke about what OG had to do to win the game, and I kind of feel like they just did it, right?
I wouldn't say just yet. I think that fight was a little bit scaly, and even with Aegis, you know, I think Navi, they can still fight. When that BKB came out, it was spectator mode for this Luna.
Yeah. Oh, they're coming out with the next level plays. I mean, it was a good fight. I mean, you know, that relocate. I mean, it was perfectly like if Luna died there before relocating back, completely different fight. I mean, unfortunately, when she got relocated, she was able to just get the ulti off on essentially everyone. Or at least all the heroes that were still alive.
Yeah. Besides, I think it's just... I'm not sure if he bought back. Or...
I don't think he bought back. Yeah, I don't think anyone bought back in that fight.
Yeah, no one. No one on OG has buyback. 3 buybacks on Navi.
Oof. I mean, that's not a lot of buybacks for 35 minutes into the game. Just in general, like.
Yeah, 3 buybacks in the in-game total, and 2 of them are supports.
Yeah. I mean, that just shows that they've been buying out. I mean, we saw Axe buy out that BKB. In fact, that BKB came out just before that fight. I don't even think OG knew about that BKB.
Yeah, I don't think he used it. He didn't get it off.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Tiger's got it.
Unfortunately, he got like a super initiated on there, and you know, he can't do much if he gets initiated on, right? You know, he can't blink, he can't find a different hero. He has to deal with whoever's in front of him, and you know that was a centaur, which he's not going to really do much to.
Those little rascals are hitting
Alright, let's see what they do
Tiger's
decide to
bottom.
do. They can potentially take this fight if they want to, but I think Navi do respect the fact that they could just lose this game.
Bottom tower's under
Yeah.
attack.
I think the OG don't have the greatest siege, and Navi have great high ground defense,
Yeah.
and they definitely have the better late game. OG are very cooldown dependent, so without Luna ulti, you know, after Luna ulti's pop, they lack damage.
Yeah.
And what I think he did very well in the last fight is he held it. He
Yeah.
held the Luna ulti.
Yeah. No, it was look at that fight was a bit sketch. I think even they were like, you know, they don't know which way this is going, because like if you think about it, are they gonna find someone? They're chasing down. Wait, who? Oh, it's Shadow Demon and Axe. All right, okay, they do actually ball him. They are gonna try go back for the relocate target. It looks like they are. In fact, they brought back the Lina, or they do pop. They popped a cheese, in fact, and it looks like they're going to commit to this. The Bustle's there onto the IO. Can they actually finish him off, though? The crit comes through. 2k crit, but the Luna ult comes through, and, I mean, that will just take down Luna.
And Luna ulti is down. So yes, they have the Aegis, and they brought back an IO, but no Luna ulti
Yeah.
for 90 seconds, no coil.
I mean, they can
And
try
that's
go
gonna
for this,
kick
but
down the Aegis.
I mean, they don't have BKB on PA, which is a bit of a challenge. But I mean, he can still go in. He can still just jump onto the puck or Abyssal, and you know, should be fine. In fact, are they doing the initiating here? They're trying to go on them. The brilliant shackle buyback coming from Lina, but the save is there to save the Zeus. And in fact, the Abyssal comes into the puck, and look at the damage. He just gets saved. And it looks like they are actually still going here, but the base is falling a bit here. Oh man, they need to be careful. Axe is running right at them. They are TPing out. They are getting out. Can they permanently get out? It looks like the disruption is there onto the Luna. But can they actually take him down? Oh, he pops the BKB. He's getting so low, but they reinitiate with Kezu and turn the fight. But the BKB's been popped. And in fact, it looks like Shadow Demon is going to go down here. But they need to... Oh, Lena's actually going to go down. Things turning very quickly for them. But it looks like they can potentially do this. Dream Core pops onto 2. And in fact, they're actually initiating onto them. The Abyssal comes through. Can they bring down the Puck? It looks like Puck will go down. But can they stop this Rax from falling? It looks like it's probably still going down. Oof, man, what a fight. As the E-plates are coming out. And not a bad fight for just losing the Puck. Man, Shape, I don't know what to think about that. I mean, that looked pretty good for OG, but, you know, it was like... It was weird, right? Navi just couldn't go in.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was quite well choreographed by OG, you know, like Io was in the trees over here, and then he TP'd back, and he somehow managed to get Luna to come with him, and then Luna was casting spells from the side, and Thompson was casting spells from the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was well done by OG.
And every time it seemed like Navi should jump in, it was actually OG that was jumping in, right? Like, every time I was like, okay, Navi are probably going to go here. Oh, what? Thompson's in, you know, with a Dream Call or something. And, you know, oh, he's jumped in with, like, a silence. And then all of a sudden he's resetting and jumping in again. And, like, it was like perpetually they could never gather themselves. Navi could never gather their thoughts, you know, to defend that Rax. Because they were always getting poked and prodded by this Puck.
I think that's such a good point. The way OG fought that was just to use their nukes from a safe distance, and or you know how Puck goes in and then out again.
Yeah.
And slowly get them down and make them use their abilities and force them out of position. I think it's a very good pickup there.
Yeah.
This year.
Oh man, they do get a shackle onto Zax. I'm not sure they'll commit onto that though, because yeah, I mean they could have relocated in. Oh, in fact, they relocated bottom. Never mind. I mean, relocates on such a short cooldown. They took the No-Tail took minus 25 seconds onto the relocate. So I mean, they can literally shove out every wave they potentially want to. And this is a challenge because they got a nullifier on PA actually, which is kind of pog.
Yeah, I think the nullifier is going to be massive against these E-blades. And like one of the things I said, the E-blade counter is why it's so good is because the counter is so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, this PA doesn't care. He's got both.
Yeah.
Watch him pick Mantis style up next. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know where he goes next. I still think Ags is probably still the item. But that's a challenge, right? I don't know. I think he needs other heroes in this game to start doing more, right? Like, Zeus needs to find something that can change this fight. PA's not going to be able to just do everything right now. I mean, because if you look at Luna, right? Luna has got BKB, Hurricane Pike. She's level 25. The mini stuns are coming out. There's a refresher orb, in fact, on this Luna. I mean, like, as much as it was a weird build, and for the game, it's gonna probably work just by pure brute force, right?
Yeah, I know. Timeless relic as well.
Yeah.
Could you get a better item?
No, I mean, look at this. Oh my word, look at those stuns. I mean, PA, just got off BKB. But I mean, just a refresher shot and boom, let's go again. In fact, the 3-man Dream Call, they're going to jump in. Lina in a lot of trouble here, gets E-bladed up. And in fact, I mean, no buyback. That's rough.
Yeah, Lina bought back in the last fight, so
yeah,
3 minutes until she has buyback. But also Io doesn't have buyback.
Yeah,
for 3 minutes.
I think they'll still probably commit to force something, right? Wait, let's check on Roche. Okay, Roche may respawn technically in 5 seconds. So they could wait for that, and they probably will. I don't think they have to commit now. But I think they're significantly far ahead now, that they're just brute forcing them with their builds, right? Even the puck to an extent, Octarine Core with the E-Blade, it's just this perpetual bombardment of spells. You may have BKB, but that's only going to save you for 5 seconds now, and our spells are going to perpetually be going at you. Things like Lina has nothing to deal with this. Has absolutely nothing.
Yeah, heals for like 30 minutes now.
I think it's safe to say 43 minutes, like since the start of the game, right? Unfortunately, right? Because Lina hasn't had a bad game, I would say. Has set up plays for them. The stuns have been good. It's just been like there's no way to survive this damage from Lina.
Yeah.
Oh, smoke comes out. Looks like that. Yeah.
1 and 14.
Looks like they're going to find Lina. The poor Lina is potentially going to go down the stun. Oh, yeah, there it is. Looks like Axe might go down here. Oh, PA pops the BKB. But it's basically Dreamcore just has to get out of there. And no BKB now. And I mean, Thompson's realized that. And look at the ulti coming through. I mean, he can't do anything without BKB. And in fact, look at the Shadow Demon as well. I mean, man, oh man, they're still going for more. They're trying to get Zeus. They're going to kill him in the fountain. It looks like they will get him in the fountain. And in fact, looks like Centaur's going to lose his life for that. Thompson?
Yeah, Thompson's all goes off.
Oh, GG's. I mean, I think fair enough, GG. 5-second BKB on PA with that much damage.
Yeah.
Oh, Shape, what a match. What a series. I mean, at one point we were calling Navi winning this match. I mean, and looking at how it ended, it just feels like one-sided almost. They just had to get online.
OG just needed their timings once again. That's the story of OG games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the weird thing was the timings were like 40 minutes, or no, 35 minutes, which is like super crazy, right?
Well done to both teams. I'm excited to see Navi in the lower bracket.
Yeah.
And OG making it to the grand finals of this tournament with two players missing.
Yeah, essentially. Look, I think ILTW's been playing for them for most of this tournament. But not at full strength. That is a very valid point. They look, OG is going to have a pretty. I mean, sorry, Navi's going to have a pretty tough match. They're basically going to be either facing Alliance or Nigma or Mud Golems, which I suspect it might be Nigma. Just because I think Nigma have been playing pretty well themselves. Also, Mud Golems actually have been playing pretty well. I mean, they technically took down Secret, so I mean, that's pretty impressive from their side.
Yeah, I mean they were the first team to beat Secret in their streak.
Yeah. Oh man, that's insane. But yeah, I think that was a crazy series. I think well done to OG for pulling that off. I think that must have been like high stress, right? Because they were never in the drive. It didn't feel like they were ever actually in the driving seat of the entire series, right? Until like right at the end of the series, right at the end of this match, it felt like okay, cool, they're gonna win. It always felt like they were kind of behind throughout the whole series, even game two to an extent. I think it looked like Navi were going to potentially win that game as well. Um, but OG also didn't care about this PA even after what happened in game one. They didn't ban it out ever. I think they played 3 games of PA Navi.
Yeah, I mean I think so. So this is the thing, that they love that E-Blade,
Mm,
and E-Blade seems to be good against PA,
yeah,
and so yeah. I mean, they don't ban it. I think Navi didn't really adapt like well enough, I
yeah.
guess.
I think Navi needed to be able to ban an item rather than a hero. That's what it felt like, right? That's what, I can't-
Definitely feels like that. I don't understand, but
I guess everyone go play any hero and get E-Blade and you should be fine.
yeah.
I mean
But
that's a
to be
weird
fair,
thought.
Navi's drafts seemed significantly less cohesive in the second and third game.
Yeah.
In the first game they had that sick minus armor thing. They had like strong lanes, and then in the second game, what did they actually like? What was their combo? What was their synergy? They
All right,
didn't
so
have
they
that.
didn't play PA game one, they played Drow. I think maybe that was a big deal because the Drow looked super strong in game. I suppose PA looked also good, but I just felt like never had a hero that closed the game, right? Except for in game one. If you think about game two, Doom mid. I don't think that was gonna win them the game. As it looked good in the game, but it never felt like okay, cool, it's gonna close out the game. Game three, they had Zeus. I don't think Zeus closed out the game. Zeus had an amazing game. Zeus couldn't close the game out, right? They needed something that was gonna be like, okay, cool, we're ready, let's go, and finish the game. And that was like in my mind the challenge with the drafting aspect. Because I think Navi played it well. Navi played extremely well in terms of execution. It's just like against like a team like OG, they're gonna split the map. They're gonna force you into bad situations. They're never gonna let you come high ground. You need a hero that's gonna brute force it.
Yeah, and then they're gonna coil you and drop the moon on you at 35 minutes.
Yeah, they're gonna drop 2 moons on you. I mean, geez, I didn't even see
They
him get
use the
that
refresh
refresher.
at the end.
Yeah, no. I mean, it got to a point where basically PA could pop BKB to survive the first one, right? Or the first barrage of nuke damage. But then, as soon as it's done, PA cannot walk near them, right? You know, which was scary. And maybe I think Navi needed to pick slightly more greedier supports that were just gonna farm a bit more, because like if you looked at OG, right, their supports were in all 3 series trying to get farm, like and Navi were never in the series as prioritizing supports, and that kind of hurt them in game two and three.
Seb
That.
was greedy as well. Yeah.
I mean, when is Seb not greedy though? I suppose. I mean, he
I
likes
mean,
his blinks, dude. He
like,
likes his items. He likes his Lotus orbs.
yeah, I like it when my teammates buy the Lotus Orb.
Yeah, it's a good item. Feels good.
I don't
But
like
but
when
but
my
that's also
people blink.
something that helps you end the game, right? As well, it's an itemization that helps you end the game. Imagine if PA at 30 minutes had a Lotus orb on him on a you know it's a little more scary, right? It's not just like okay, cool, we can wait BKB out and go back in. You always have to be cautious of they're gonna dispel stuff, or you're gonna reflect stuff, or it's that extra protection, right? It felt like PA only had her own items to keep herself alive, you know? The only other person who had farm was Zeus, and Zeus was greedy as well. Only items that help himself, technically, you know. In fact, he didn't even really have defensive items because he's just Zeus, you know. Like, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird.
Yeah, I mean, when do you go BKB on Zeus?
Never, right? You just look. I was thinking he might look. So I think I was expecting a blink from him, but I was also expecting like I don't know. I mean, let's be real.
Something negligible.
He should have gone E-Blade. From what we've learned from what OG are doing, he should have just gone E-Blade. Like,
First item, Eblade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I get maybe Etherlens.
Yeah,
on Zeus.
Etherlens. I was thinking Yules, but I don't know. Looking at how much control they had, I don't know. Um, you can't go forced off into a puck. I mean, maybe you just go BKB. Maybe you just do it, right? It's the only way to survive, right? I mean, it feels so bad. It feels extremely bad. That's like 4K that does nothing for you in terms of your ability.
It saves you from coil.
Well, I'm thinking more the Luna and like the puck perpetually silencing you. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
because if you
So,
think about it, he also had no way of dealing with the silence, right? So he was always having to wait out the silence for the entire duration.
yeah, and the silence against Zeus is actually kind of bad, even if you don't die, just because you actually
Mm.
you do nothing. Yeah.
And you know, he had the refresher, he had the ag, so he had all these great stuff to be aggressive with. But if they kept getting jumped by puck, he's never getting anything done. You know, they like to jump someone and throw the Nimbus and pop an ulti and kill a hero. But that wasn't happening towards the end of that game. But awesome stuff. So I think that's awesome. Navi, they're going to go down to the lower brackets in the Dota Pit tournament. OG are going to go to the grand finals, which will be held tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to try bring you guys that match. Crispy and Tappet will try bring you guys that match. So I think, Bryn, thanks for casting this match with me. It was awesome, and I think well done to OG. They put in an awesome performance.
Yeah, well done.
Awesome stuff. So I think with that, guys, we are going to end the stream here. Hope you guys enjoyed that match, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.